This content is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good.
Yeah? Everything's on?
Yes, everything
Hey.
should be on.
How's it going, everybody? Yeah, welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon D&D Wundoro Adventure. Things are a little different here today. Matt is away, so we got him live from his home computer. Yeah. So nothing new, but something different. So Melissa's playing producer right now. Everything looking good, Miss Producer?
I hope so. Just turned off global transitions. And hope everybody can hear us.
We look a little redder or sun-tired. It's because we
are.
are. We've spent the last couple days out in the sun. Matt, what have you been doing these last couple days? Isolating. So the opposite of us.
Nobody worry. Matt should be fine. He's just doing the responsible thing.
I had a bit of a fever on that there Wednesday and went, hey, that's bad. I'm going to stay home for a bit.
As people should.
And that's why we love them. So, anything else you guys got going on? Or are you guys ready to jump into this thing? We are running a little late.
I'm
no
good
thanks to myself.
jump
I'm
in.
ready to jump into her.
Okay.
Also, if I'm a little dark on the camera, let me know. I can always make myself brighter.
Aw, you're a pretty bright guy to me, Matt.
Eh, that's debatable.
Thank you to Joe the DM on Twitter for the Pokemon 5e handbook and associated PDFs that we are using today for this playthrough. You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Thank you to the Lighter Arts for the various character tokens that we are using and have been using. They are lovely and awesome. Check her out. Thank you to Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com for the music like you're hearing right now. And also Mikkel_Beats again on Twitter for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack, which is adding a little extra something to this stream.
I don't know if you know this, Steven, but I can see your DM stuff for some reason. It's all good. I won't look.
Player things. I think it's just for the one-off stuff.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one shot, and then the trainers for the one shot. I see the same thing.
Okay.
Weird. Okay. So,
But then again, there are other profiles for Agent Frankie and Agent Georgie, but I think
Yeah, there's Indigo and Dewey and Frankie and Georgie and
And
Molly.
yeah, no, those are fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so that should just be showing you anyways their pictures and stuff that you've already seen.
I don't know.
I'm kind of
literally on screen.
I've just never
Yeah.
noticed them before.
yeah. Yeah, that's just so you can go back and look at all the things that I've shared with you
Okay,
over a
I've
period
just
of time.
never noticed them before, apparently.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I suppose when last we left off, there was a bit of trouble in Serene City. Our friends were caught by the police, and their new friend, Molly, was taken into custody. At that time, they didn't exactly know why, and it seemed strange and out of the blue. They found a mysterious couple that viewed the whole scene and sought them out to see if they have any extra knowledge. It appeared that the one had been being fed upon in the night by a mysterious Pokemon. The couple seemed to identify Molly's Gligar as the Pokemon that had been making nightly trips. And as such, Brooks and Jackson took off to the police center to try and clear this up. Molly was not doing terribly well, but they assured her that they would help in any way that they could. They managed to get a hold of Professor Larch, and Professor Larch offered to send over some information about Glygars to the police department to help. Meanwhile, they did some odd jobs and decided to continue their own investigation. They discovered something, making another coming and going from another apartment building down the way. Upon chasing it, they discovered an abandoned church. Here in this weird, scary graveyard, they climbed inside, fell through some floors a few times.
Lots of time. I think me maybe one or two more times then.
I only fell through once.
I think I fell through twice.
And then I jumped off the roof.
Yes.
Made it up a couple floors, found what they were fairly sure was the creature that was making the nightly visitations. And after a incredibly deadly... Well, yeah, it sounds...
Dirty?
Is as it sounds.
It is.
After... after an incredibly dangerous encounter, the two managed to capture the Golbat
Not gonna lie, that was near death.
and one of the Zubats, and
I
are
won't even
now
sugarcoat what happened.
and are now next to collapsed, sitting in front of the open gates to the cemetery. That brings us to today.
Did we run all the way here last time?
Yes.
I wonder if there's a bus.
I look for a bus stop.
I will also look for a bus stop.
Wait. What time is it? Because buses might not even be running.
Late.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I doubt buses are even running.
Okay.
It's okay, as you guys stand up, dusting off your knees and getting the grave dirt out of your clothing, nursing your wounds. The two of you are both quite bloody. Jackson, you would note that your regular, standard, feeble knees, you have a quite more present limp now. You are very sore, especially from that jump. You're surprised you didn't break anything, to be entirely honest.
I kind of assumed he did.
Your flashlights illuminate the area immediately around you. The moon doing a good job of illuminating the rest. Then you see a red and blue light, and the sound of something go, woo whoop, woo whoop.
Oh, sure. Come here so I can prove it to you without having to walk to the station.
And a police cruiser rolls up along the street outside the gate. You see a gentleman dressed in police attire open the door and step out. He pulls a Pokeball from his pocket and throws it to the ground, and out appears this small red and black striped dog. It growls momentarily and then struts up beside its master. The police officer pulls a flashlight from his belt, shines it over his head downwards towards the two of you. He doesn't seem alarmed or concerned at the moment, especially considering your state, but you can tell that he's here with a purpose. And he says, stay where you are. Show me your hands. Are the two of you all right? Are you in need of medical assistance?
That would be nice.
Hang on a second. Ooh, that's bad. Jackson's gonna collapse. And just slump onto the ground.
Ugh.
Exhausted.
The policeman makes a move
I
to
look at-
step
I
towards
look
you.
at Jackson. Is he faking it or is this for real?
Oh, he's not like unconscious. He's just
But are you?
I made like a self-imposed role for the fact that he's fucking 72 and got knocked out and then jumped off a roof and got knocked out again.
So he's not.
And then I got knocked out that one time.
He's not exaggerating the situation to try and gain sympathy from the police officer.
No, he is
Okay.
fucking tired.
Okay.
The cop takes a couple steps towards you, obviously concerned.
I get down on the ground. I'm like, Jackson, are you okay?
I just need a minute.
Okay. I just kneel next to Jackson.
He says, we got a call about a disturbance here in the church in the graveyard. You know this is private property and it was closed. Or, I'll repeat myself, are the two of you all right? You appear to be in quite a shape. I'll phone medical assistance.
We need to get to the police station, but yes, we need medical assistance.
He grabs the small radio that's on his side and he says, dispatch, I'm going to need an ambulance here. I've got two, one adolescent, one elderly gentleman. They seem to be in bad shape. Thank you. let's go. After about a minute, you hear a bit of a garble come out of his microphone, and he nods, seemingly understood.
Is Riolo still, like, confused on my back?
Yeah, more or less. The confusion fades fairly quickly. Now he's more confused about this police officer standing there, who's standing only a few feet away from you now, looking down at you. He seems to be doing a little bit of a sweeping motion with his flashlight, looking around, trying to see. He says, were you in a fight? Did something hurt you?
The danger should be gone for now.
Any explanation? What happened here? And why are you in the graveyard at this time?
How much do you know about the girl Molly in prison right now, falsely accused?
Serene City's a big place. I'm sure there's more than a few Mollys locked up somewhere.
Cool. Then take me to the police station so I can tell them. I'm not trying to be difficult, officer. But we solved the problem.
It's more specifically the girl who was arrested and accused of having her Pokemon hurting people.
You're saying you have information regarding you have information regarding an active investigation.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Considering the state that you two are in, I feel inclined to not issue any sort of ticket at this time. But when the ambulance gets here, you are absolutely going to give them no trouble. You will have the paramedics look you over, and only if they give the go-ahead will you be allowed to leave. And at that time, I would happily take you back to the precinct. Which precinct do you say they're holding her in?
Do I remember which one? I want to say it was 3, and then I say it's 5.
I have no idea. It was like this.
Can I roll to see if I remember at this point?
Sure, just give me a general intelligence check.
Oh no.
I am not gonna make a roll for this. Actually, hang on.
5!
Natural skill. What all do you do?
At this particular point in time, I don't recall. But I could maybe get back there if I walked or if we drove and I pointed you in the right direction.
Sighs and says, all right, well, let's just see how this goes. At this point in time, the small dog Pokemon is sniffing around your feet and going in circles, in a circular motion, slowly going outward, sort of investigating the immediate area, looking for any sort of trouble.
Officer,
Yes?
if you had to send somebody in there to get rid of the other things that could be dangerous, catch them per se, perhaps you should consider that before they get bigger.
Oh, where? In the church?
Yep.
Yes.
He pulls out a small notebook and he says, what did you see?
I just
You haven't been very
throw the
forthcoming.
Pokeball to the ground. Little ones of this.
Oh yeah, and I'll do the same thing with the Zubat.
Sure.
That one.
In 2 flashes of red light, these 2 Pokemon appear before you. One, massive. It hovers
It's like
for a quick
towering
second
over top of me.
before settling down. It wraps itself in almost a cloak of wings, and it looks down over the 2 of you. It is shorter than the police officer, but almost as tall as either of you, though due to the fact that you're on the ground, it towers there like this dark pillar. It looks menacing, and you see it look sideways at Brooke a few times, but it doesn't move and it doesn't do much, more just waiting for a confirmation or possibly considering what its next move would be. The smaller one, however, the Zubat, flits about, it's hard to get a read on how it's feeling or what its thoughts are, just given the fact that it doesn't really have eyes. It doesn't broadcast its emotions too well. But it's sort of just navigating around the top of your guys' heads. It investigates the gold bat a little bit, and the gold bat looks up at it. And then it continues to fly around.
Her name is now Carmilla. But I can't say I'm particularly fond of her at the moment.
It looks over at you.
Maybe in time.
And just kind of scowls a little bit. The police officer.
Is that the one that bit you, or was it one of the smaller ones?
No, but this is the one that almost killed us.
Yeah.
The police officer kneels down next to you, Brooke, and says, "Am I to take it you're a Pokemon trainer? Can I see your trainer cards, please?"
Pull out the trainer card.
Sure.
And you, sir?
Present it.
Okay.
Present it.
He takes both of your cards and he looks at them and he says, "Give me a minute." And he walks back towards the police cruiser, opens the door. As he does so, the orange and black dog Pokemon sits dutifully between you and its master, just watching you.
Even more of a record now.
Yep.
You can see him pull out a little screen and turn it towards him as he punches in a few numbers. From this angle, you can't really see what he's doing, but it appears that he is running your cards. He comes back in just a couple more moments and he hands them back to you. And he says,
Thank you.
"As I said, I'm not charging you with anything today, and if what you're telling me is true, it sounds like you've done us a great favor. Wow, can't speak today.
I feel that.
I ran your cards and I sent a memo in to dispatch. They'll have somebody out shortly to investigate your claim and see what else is lurking in here. If there's anything that may be dangerous or has been causing harm to the greater population of the area, then we will see it taken care of."
I'm pretty sure I took away the big problem. I glance up at Carmilla and then glance over at Jackson Zubat and say, "There's still a fair few of those. And I can assume that those become that eventually."
He smiles and he says, "Sure, I'll take your word for it." You Pokemon trainers get into the strangest trouble.
Oh, we should also inform you that the floors aren't the most stable. There's a couple more holes since the last time anyone's been in here.
Well, yes, there is a note posted on the door saying that it is condemned. There's a reason why these are posted.
It's a good place for a Pokemon to hide that wants to cause trouble, though, so perhaps they should be boarded up better.
As you guys
Or
are,
checked every once in a while.
as you
Or
guys are
that.
having this conversation, another vehicle pulls up next to the curb. This time, a ambulance.
As the ambulance pulls up, I look up at Carmilla and say, "Maybe one day we'll be friends. But right now, let's call ourselves frenemies." And I put her back in the Pokeball.
Sure, and disappears.
I'll put Zubat back too.
A small team of paramedics move out the back of the ambulance and they walk over towards you guys in a bit of a hurry. They start with yourself, Jackson, being probably the more serious case between the two. You both are hurt, but given your advanced age, they seem to be prioritizing your wounds. A young woman leans down next to you and says, "Can you please describe your injuries? What hurts?" She starts sort of squeezing on your limbs and saying, "Does it hurt here? Does it hurt here?"
Yes and yes.
It appears you have multiple lacerations. This is quite bad. Your hip here, does this hurt?" And she kind of pushes on it.
Yes.
She says, "All right. Can you walk? Can you stand?"
I can hobble.
Well, just.
Don't get up.
She says, "No. Don't trouble yourself here. Roger, get the stretcher, please." And the other man steps away and goes towards the ambulance and comes back with a stretcher. And the woman takes your hand and she hooks her arm around your arm, and she leads you the couple steps towards it, and she motions for you to sit down on it.
I'll flop in.
Okay. She sort of motions for you to lie down, and
I lay down.
her and Roger push you towards the back of the ambulance. Then the woman comes back and looks to yourself, Brooke, and she says, "Oh wow, multiple puncture wounds all over, repeated. Oh, the same bruising. You're gonna be terribly hurt. What did you do?"
I was trying to collect evidence for the police department to save somebody falsely accused.
Very heroic.
Or stupid.
Are you all right to stand? Are you all right to walk?
Yeah. Stands up.
Okay, give me your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, steady, and come towards the back of the ambulance here. We'll give you a better assessment with a little bit more light.
Yep.
All the while, the police officer is watching as they hurry you both into the back of the ambulance.
Ryulu like you would a toddler on your hip now. Just like half hugging him.
The paramedics do you both a full once-over, using the stethoscope and bandaging a number of your wounds. I would say that due to this, you guys both heal 1 HP.
Wow!
They did a horrible job.
I'm at 8!
It doubled me.
Yeah, so they bandage you up and make you feel just a little bit better than you were before, but not by much. By their assessment, they note that the two of you are plainly capable of moving and leaving this place, and they say so to the police officer, who gives them their thanks. They sort of carry you off the back of the ambulance and do up the back of the doors, shake both of your hands and nod and smile and wish you all the best, and they hurry off. The police officer, true to his word, opens up the back door to his cruiser, and he invites you inside. And yourself as well.
Hopping in.
Okay.
Now, how poorly do we navigate him back to the station that we remember visiting?
Now, to be fair, Jackson can never get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Except by magical means.
True. Yeah, Jackson, you know where you're going, and even though Brooke is tired and fumbling with the directions, you barely look out the window and kind of point this way or that way. And the cop cruiser pulls and he says, "Oh, okay, you mean Unit 5. Sure."
I knew it was a 3 or a 5.
He pulls outside of what appears to be a busy police unit, one that you've been to now once before. He opens up the back door and he lets you out. A few people watch you leave the cruiser. You not being in handcuffs are a little bit of an oddity, as a police officer holds open one door and escorts another individual in who is in handcuffs. He continues to hold the door and lets the two of you in, and the other officer follows behind you. You're now in that very sanitary waiting room that you were in before. There's one counter with a woman. You could tell that if she could, she'd probably be smoking. There's a plexiglass shield between you and her, and a waiting room that's divided in two parts. One, people who seem to be there for some sort of information or are not being charged with some sort of crime, and on the other side, people who are definitely being charged with some sort of crime, and just waiting for an arresting officer to haul them into either a cell, to a desk somewhere else, a questioning room, or who knows what.
Hello. We would like to present some evidence in order to free Molly and her Gligar.
She looks over the two of you and looks past you to the officer that just walked you inside. She nods to him and he nods back to her, and He turns to the two of you and says, well, I have to continue my rounds.
Thank you, officer.
I wish you the best of luck.
And thank you for your understanding.
Stay out of trouble, you two.
Yeah.
He tips his head and steps away. The woman who was behind the desk is no longer. You see her instead standing by the one locked door that had just been buzzed open, and she waits for the two of you to enter.
Okay, I enter.
Same.
Okay. She leads you past a couple rows of desks. Even at this time of the night, there appears to be a large staff of individuals in here who are doing who knows what. There's one man with a large bushy mustache, 15 cups of discarded coffee scattered about his desk. He seems to be going through stacks and stacks and stacks of paper. He looks up at the two of you and he kind of scowls a little bit. You keep walking, and the woman doesn't actually lead you to one of these desks. She doesn't lead you to the cells either. She leads you to another door to a room that you hadn't seen previously. And she sort of waves you in.
Okay.
As you enter this room, she says, yeah, an officer will be by to question you shortly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
She closes the door behind you. Now, this room is simple. It is square. There is a table in the center
It's an interrogation room.
that is a stainless steel design bolted to the floor. There are two chairs in here, one on either side. And in the center are a pair of sort of rings that are welded onto the table where you could tell that there would probably be handcuffs that would put through it, just in case there was a more rowdy sort of guest. Against one of the walls is a sheet of glass that mirrors you.
What lovely accommodations, I say to the mirror, and then I sit on the ground and say, Jackson, you should sit in the chair. I assume the officer will sit in the other one.
I'll take the chair.
And I like sit in the corner, like cozy my back up to the corner and my head in the corner and just hug Ryulu and like half fall asleep, waiting.
Okay.
I haven't slept in 2 nights.
Yeah, no problem. You guys wait here for the better part of an hour. You can hear some movement outside,
Short
but
rest.
not much going on. You guys can absolutely take a short rest if you would like.
I'm gonna. Just in case.
Oh, let's see how well this goes with my con score. Okay, actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm at half health.
Okay.
And back up to full.
There's a clock.
Only took 4.
I only used 3, and I'm at half at least.
There's a clock on the wall, and time creeps by horribly slow in this room with nothing going on. There's no music. All there is the constant shuffle of something going on outside every now and then. A more disgruntled voice, and then it moves past and is gone again. The clock ticks to 7 o'clock a.m. A couple minutes more pass, and the door suddenly opens, and you see the same larger, heavier set man with a big bushy mustache. He's got a folder under one arm, and under the other arm is this massive thing of papers. He slams that down on the paper, or on the table, and he holds the other folder, and he sort of fans himself a little bit, just looking over the two of you. He says, I have a witness report from you, I imagine,
Yes.
noting what you saw as of a few days ago regarding your friend Molly.
Correct.
I have a few others from witnesses the days previous. I proved to be a little less reliable. Not much of use. He throws that folder down onto the table. And he sits down at the other chair. He sees you sitting in the corner. And he looks at you for a quick minute. He puts a hand on top of this large stack of papers that he had put down earlier. And he says, this here is a 500... Hold on, he pulls it closer to him. Lifts up a few pages. 523-page report on Glygars and their natural environment and feeding habits in the Wundoro region. Courtesy of one Professor Larch.
You're welcome.
He sighs. You can almost see the air brush through his mustache. He looks between the two of you again. Obviously, she's your friend. You've got some skin in this game.
Our sponsor.
All right. Pokemon trainers?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got a report from an officer who picked you up a couple hours ago. He was very kind in not pressing any charges regarding trespassing on private property and God knows what destruction you might have caused to said private property. But said you might have a convincing case to make.
We do. We managed to find 2 Pokemon in that abandoned church that we believe are responsible for the attacks on people.
Yep. Funny enough, it took us 2 days to find out who the culprit was.
He nods thoughtfully. Says, yeah, Pokemon trainers. I think you're so smart. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a word of caution here. Any funny business, and I have 5 men waiting outside rushing in to arrest you and do whatever else to whatever you pull from your pocket.
Funny business you're gonna get is maybe a little bit of snarky attitude from me because I haven't slept in 2 days.
All
doing a
right,
job
Missy.
That should have been done by the police.
That's enough.
Here's your evidence, and I spin my Pokedex. First off, this biting my neck, trying to suck my blood.
You show him the picture of the Zubats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My buddy Jackson here caught one.
Yep.
He looks at the picture and he says, is that you pulling back your collar?
But this is the thing that's been causing all the issues. And I summon out the Golbat.
Okay. The Golbat appears in front of him, and he staggers back, his chair almost falling over. And he goes, whoa, 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 oh, okay. Do you have that thing under control? And the Zubat sort of flaps in space, taking up far too much of the room at this point. And it settles down right next to you, Brooke, and looks across the table at the police officer.
Does she look under control enough to you?
He looks at you, and he looks back at it. He looks back at you. And he looks over at Jackson.
Yes.
Well, there's only one way we're going to be able to confirm if this was the Pokemon that was indeed attacking
Want to take
said
a look
victim.
at the Pokedex entry for it.
We'll get there. First, give me the Pokeball.
You're not taking my Pokemon. She's mine now, and I caught her fair square and got her off your streets. So unless you can tell me what you intend to do with it, because as problematic as she is, and the fact that she almost killed me and Jackson, you're not going to put her down.
He puts his hand out again over top of the table and he says, give me the Pokeball, young miss.
What do you intend to do with her?
Well, that's yet to be seen. Right now, you're in possession of, supposedly, a very dangerous Pokemon who's been attacking people on the streets of my city. You understand that such a Pokemon out, either under your care, and he makes air quotes, or in the wild poses a bit of a problem. I can't have Pokemon attacking random people in the streets.
She won't be, because she'll either be with me, appropriate trainer, or Professor Larch, who is a more than capable professor.
Narrows his eyes. And what assurance do I have that you have this Pokemon under control and that you'll provide due care and attention to avoid this sort of thing happening again?
Well, it did attack us immediately upon seeing us, and ever since she's released it in this room, it hasn't moved to attack anybody.
Give me a persuasion check, Jackson.
Sure. First real roll of the night. That's not bad. That is a 13 plus. Oh, I'm proficient, so that's a 17.
Okay. He looks back over at you and looks back at Brooke. He grumbles. He stands up. Says, "Wait here a minute." He walks towards the door and he opens it and slams it behind him.
I pat Carmilla and tell her that she's being very well behaved.
You feel almost goosebumps under your hand as you touch her, but she doesn't shy away. It's almost more that she's unfamiliar with a caring or careful touch. And she looks over at you. Her eyes by nature are almost sinister and beady, but you don't see malice or harm or anything in it. A little bit of confusion. She seems to be looking for some sort of intent. And she stands there with her wings draped around her like some massive cloak.
I won't let them hurt you. You're just an animal. A Pokemon doing what it does to survive. But now you don't have to do that because you're with us. And I won't let them hurt you. I pat her again.
This time she doesn't flinch in the slightest away from you, but she continues to look at you.
Just keep behaving yourself. And show them you mean them no harm.
You guys wait here for another long stretch of time. There's probably 15 minutes before the door opens again, and you see a face you haven't seen in a few days. Dark skin, fairly gaunt, looks stronger than the last time you saw her. The woman in the apartment that you visited. She is being helped along by her boyfriend. You, in the corner with this large Pokemon, are spotted fairly immediately by this woman who stops dead at the doorway, and she takes one step backwards, and her boyfriend pats her shoulder and looks back over at the two of you. The officer pushes past her and looks between you and this woman that just entered the room and says, "Miss, is this the Pokemon that attacked you?" And she nods hurriedly. He brushes a fat, meaty hand over his face, finds a bit of gristle in his mustache, pulls it out and flicks it away, takes a long sigh. You see in his other hand he's holding a fresh cup of coffee. He takes a sip. He looks between the two of you and he looks back to the woman and he says, "Thank you. There's no more need for you to be here tonight. You are free to rest." And she shakes her head in another direction. And the boyfriend says, "What is it? Do you need something? Would you like to sit?" And she shakes her head again, and she looks over at the two of you past the officer, and she weakly mouths, "Thank you."
You're welcome. Carmilla won't hurt anybody anymore.
She looks at the large Pokemon and
I'll train her well.
she looks scared, but she looks back at you and she nods. And she says, "Don't let it hurt anybody else."
She won't. I won't let her.
The woman looks at her boyfriend and he looks down at her and smiles and turns back at you. He doesn't say anything to you, but he puts his arm around the trembling girl's shoulders and leads her out of the room. The police officer continues to stand there in the doorway. And he says, "Well, another case closed. Glad to see a happy ending."
And Molly?
Yes, come on out. And he leads you out into the main detective area. He leaves you standing by the wall and he moves backwards towards the cells that you remember seeing. He holds a ring of keys on his belt and he walks through the metal bars. He disappears for a few moments and then you see him return. Beside him, Molly. Shaken, disheveled. She's not wearing what she was wearing when you saw her last. Instead, she's wearing very plain, sort of beige-colored police garb of sorts, prisoner uniform. She's not handcuffed or anything, but she is wringing her hands a little bit. And she looks happy, if not embarrassed, with the sight around her. And she looks up at the two of you, and she waves and she smiles. And the officer sort of touches her shoulder and directs her in a different direction. They move off again, and they're gone for a few more minutes before she returns, this time with all of her regular clothing worn. She's got her fanny pack on her side. You can see as she's walking towards you, she seems to be rifling through, maybe counting her possessions. She pulls out one Pokeball, gives it a kiss, puts it back in, and she steps up to the two of you. She runs the last couple steps to Brooke, and she gives you a hug. And she sort of nestles you close to her chest, and she says, "Thank you. Thank you.
Give Jackson one too. He needs it."
She turns to Jackson. She says, "Huh, Gramps, you look like you're on death's door there."
Everything hurts.
She wipes a little bit of snot away from her nose. She says, "Yeah. All right, hug. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come on."
I'll get up and go over to it.
Okay.
Now,
She
everybody's
squeezes you
accounted
gently.
for? Gligar?
She turns back to you. Yeah, he's good. I think. I mean, let's go check. Let's get the fuck out of here. She smiles. As you guys turn to leave and are walking back into the front lobby area, she turns, being the last one behind you, and she looks at the rest of the room and she holds up two middle fingers and says, "Fuck you, pigs!"
Everything I wanted to say in that interrogation room summed up in one moment. Thanks, Molly.
You hear a little bit of grumbling, but you imagine they are probably fairly used to hearing such things. She turns back to you, and she's got a couple tears coming down her eyes, and she rubs them. She looks almost like a different person without her makeup on. She typically wears heavy eyeliner. Her face is done up to be rather pale. She looks a lot younger like this. More innocent, almost. And there's a bit of a skip to her step as you finally leave the police precinct. And she wastes no time grabbing a Pokeball from her pocket and releasing it. And out flies the Gligar, who happily does a bit of a twirl and backflip midair before settling on her face. And she just hugs it right there.
I was waiting for that reuniting moment. Of that reunion.
She says,
So worth it, Jackson. So worth it.
She says, "They didn't tell me anything that happened. Just that I was free to go. What the fuck did you do? What'd you say? What happened?"
Pokemon that was actually doing the bad things.
Yeah.
Sick. Like, wow. That's really cool, guys. What was it?
A gold bat?
Show you back at the Pokemon Center before I send her off to the professor.
She smiles. Hi. Yeah, I could use a proper rest, and I
Yep.
think the two of you look like you could probably use a better rest. You don't have anything you know to smoke on you, do you?
No.
No.
She nods, and then she looks back, realizing you're still in front of the police precinct.
Maybe not a good place to do it anyway.
Fuck 'em. All right. Yeah, you'll have to tell me all about it. On the way to the Pokemon Center?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to stretch the old legs, you know? She pets the Gligar, who is now settled onto her shoulder, and she just continues to sort of run her hands along its back. It holds on to her beanie and sticks out its tongue and looks over the rest of you. And you guys walk back to the Pokemon Center.
While walking back, I tell her about how Jackson and I fell through the floor of this church, and how we discovered the Zubats, and then how when we went upstairs we found the Golbat, and how we narrowly escaped and Jackson jumped off the roof to get the
that
rope
was
down.
smart.
We both did some stupid.
She laughs and she smiles as you tell the story, genuinely enjoying the fresh air, taking in the sun that is coming up over the horizon, watching the cars as they pass, continuing to pet her friend. You guys get to the Pokemon Center and walk inside. It is the typical hustle and bustle here in Serene City. A number of people who are traveling in the opposite direction, packs all settled and ready for whatever adventure they may be heading towards, as well as a few other people rushing in with Pokeballs in hand, ready to hand them off to nurses waiting behind a desk. You see a typical Nurse Joy type in wonderful heels step
I
by
forgot that she has great heels.
and look at the two of you and says, "Well, hello, and welcome to the Serene City Pokemon Center. Can I help you with anything?"
Yeah, these guys all need some healing.
She smiles
I
and
hand over my 3 Pokeballs, and I give Riolu a big squish and just hand over Riolu.
Riolu,
I
who's
will do the same.
okay. Riolu, who has been very patient this whole time, just taking in everything as it's gone, him being quite hurt and getting over a number of different status ailments, happily is picked up and put into the waiting arms of another nurse who comes walking by. Nurse Joy snaps 2 more times, and another nurse shows up with a tray, taking the rest of your Pokeballs. And she looks over to Molly, and Molly smiles and says, Nah, I'm good. And she smiles sweetly, and her and the 2 other nurses wander off with the Pokemon and Pokeballs in tow.
Gotta get all my guys back to good now.
Yep.
All the ouchies.
Very much so.
Molly yawns and stretches a bit and says, "I'm tired, but I'm not tired. You know what I mean? Like when you're tired, but your mind's not so. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm exhausted.
I know what you mean,
I think I
but
get what
I'm
you're saying.
legitimately tired.
I bet. Hey, I owe you 2 big time, and you were talking about you wanted to go out on the lake, or you guys wanted to
Go
do some fishing
for
or something."
I don't even remember. It seems like a year ago.
Yeah.
Jobs. The Basculin.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of how to repay you guys, and you know what? I'll rent a boat for you. Like, we'll get a boat for a day, and we'll go wherever the fuck you want.
Will the boat have fishing rods on it?
Fucked if I know.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get you a boat.
You'll
Is
come
that-
with us?
She smiles. Yeah. I mean, if as long as you don't mind a troublemaker around.
You're not a troublemaker. We almost got busted for breaking and entering, right, Jackson?
Almost. We're probably bigger troublemakers than you are, really.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
I lean in and I go, we almost lost our trainer cards before.
She smiles and laughs and says, you know, there was that one time I was moving through Brambletown, you know, and I saw the Fuzz. He was hot on my heels. I was smoking a little bit, and I had another small pack in my pocket. And I made my way around the side of a building, and I knew the fucker was right on my heels, so I shoved the whole thing down my throat. I couldn't say a fucking word as he came around and tried to talk to me. I played it off like I was a mute.
We attacked some guys who shot up a bus.
Well, to be fair, they tried to shoot up a bus. And then we interfered, and they accidentally shot up a bus when we interfered.
Hard fucking core. What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys came onto a bus trying to rob it, I guess. And we weren't about that.
Fuck those guys. Am I right?
Fuck those guys.
I agree. So did the cops in the long run.
Yeah. Gave us a warning, so we're pretty lucky that we didn't get in shit for breaking and entering, but worth it.
Totally.
Hashtag worth it. I
Hashtag
like
worth
it.
Wait, what's that?
Don't worry. Hey, hey, I got something I need to do. You guys mind if they come back? Catch me outside. You guys want to take it? What's your plan?
Well, Jackson, do we want to pick up more jobs and then go fishing with that job, or?
Yeah, we can take a look. I think there was only the 2 jobs we took, right?
One sounds like it's going on for a while.
Yeah, so you guys
Yeah.
did take another job that you haven't
finished
responded
that
to
one.
yet.
Yeah, we have the one that seemed like it was going to be a lot of work going on for a while, and then there's the Basculin or whatever job.
The Basculin.
Yeah, that's the
Wait,
one.
what was the first one? I thought the first one was helping move. Or
We
no,
did
no,
that
it was
one.
like general labor.
Yeah,
It was general labor.
I picked up the general labor one that seemed like it was going on for like a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys helped with the moving already.
Molly, I think Jackson and I got some, at least sleeping we gotta do. So why don't you come back later today? We'll meet up and see if the boat has fishing rods, and if they don't, then we'll need to rent or buy fishing rods. So if they have fishing rods, we're good to go tomorrow. If not, maybe we'll wait a day.
She smiles. Hey, okay, you know what? How about this? I'll meet you down by the docks tomorrow morning, and we'll head out from there. Call it 9 o'clock. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sound like fun?
Now,
9 o'clock tomorrow
what
morning.
time it is now? Would 9 o'clock in the morning, or are we talking tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow
or
morning.
today?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Today, it's going on like 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect. I'm down for that.
Sounds good. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. I think we need to talk to the professor today.
Molly smiles. She says, "Right, you do you. Sorry to run.
That's okay.
Oh, it's all good.
You guys get rested, and yeah, tomorrow. Cool.
Stay cool, Molly.
You too, little sis. Thanks again, Graps."
No problem.
She turns around and she leaves the Pokemon Center.
It's all the pain.
Yeah. You jumped from a window, Jackson. A roof. You jumped off the roof.
Yes.
You're crazy.
I'm aware.
Okay. We're both crazy.
I had to get done.
I jumped through a window. You jumped off a roof. We somehow made it out.
We're somehow not dead, despite our best efforts.
Yeah. Some crazy shit back there.
Just a fucking little.
I'm sorry, but I think I have to be honest with you.
Sure.
After you found that box, I was kind of a little worried. Tried to look and see if I saw any brochures that might have been your wife. Kind of feel bad.
Don't worry, I thought about it too. Actually, speaking of, I'm going to pull up that note and then pull up the journal that Jackson's been keeping.
Yep.
And compare the writing.
Give me an investigation check.
Can I also look now that I see it a
Sure.
little better?
It's just my own writing. Oh, well, that's
It's
good. Oh, but it's an old ass piece of paper.
I got a natural 20, so it's a 19.
wow.
Okay, so that is a 17 plus anything with investigation? No. 19.
Sure. I'll say this for you, Jackson. You've had a long, hard night. The paper is fairly decayed, I guess is the best way to put it. But now seeing it in the light of day, or I guess in the synthetic lights of the Pokemon Center, it does bear a striking resemblance to your own handwriting. But not handwriting, I would say, of today. Brooke, you would even say that it looks identical to Jackson's handwriting, with the exception it looks a lot firmer. You've seen him write things before, and he's got a bit of a shake to his writing. This looks like that, minus the shaking. So a bit more firmness or assurance to his grip.
You remember where you buried your wife, Jackson?
No.
Would you want to go back and look?
Sure.
We can bring her roses. Just looks a lot like your handwriting.
It does.
Do you know why it would be in that church if it weren't for where her funeral was?
No. Not off the top of my head, at least.
Well,
What did the notes say again?
So the note spoke of a lover passed before their time, about how this couple had planned on starting their own Pokemon journey together. A little bit later in life than they had originally intended, but that's just how it happened. And then she passed, and he couldn't bear to go on it without her. So he left what they had gathered together in this box, and left it here for her. There are no names mentioned in it, although you assume that there might have been if more of the letter had stayed intact.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm just reading the backstory real quick to see what else you would maybe possibly remember from that.
Yep.
I know I'd like to talk to the professor real quick and have a quick chat with my Golbat before I send her to Professor, but maybe it would be worth returning and seeing. Not going into a scary building we shouldn't, but
Visiting the cemetery would be nice, I think. Take a look at the headstone and see if a name pops out.
yeah.
I like that.
Sounds like a plan then.
Perfect. Thanks, Brooke.
You're welcome. I just feel like maybe it'll bring something back for you.
Maybe. I hope so. I don't like not remembering such a large part of my life. You know, I'm 72 years old. I probably only have a few left if I'm good.
Well,
And judging by the fact that I jumped out of a window last night and jumped off a roof, I'm probably not gonna make it much more than 4 or 5.
don't say that. We gotta finish our journey here, and I gotta take my less than expected Pokemon trainer traveling companion home to meet my parents and my family and see the big rescue.
That sounds nice. See more Pokemon.
Yeah, there's
Apparently
so
you
many
have
cool
some weird
things.
ones.
I want to get you a deerling. I think you'd
What's
like
that?
deerlings. Well, when they're evolved, that their antlers, the foliage changes on them with the seasons. I thought you'd think that was pretty.
That does sound very pretty. Wait, it's antlers?
Yeah. They're like weird, bony, like structure, like weird tree branches
So-
out of their head.
So it's not a plant,
No,
but it has plants on its head?
kinda.
Is it like Billy, where he looks like a plant, but he's not a plant?
The body looks more like, oh, I don't know enough Pokemon here.
Have we seen anything that would resemble that?
Don't think
I
so.
don't think we've seen anything that's like
Horse or
horse-esque.
deer-like.
Not thus far, anyways.
It's got like 4 legs and a kind of furry body, really cute face, but kind of long, and then it looks like it has branches that come out of its head that change with the seasons.
So it's an Angus with spikes growing out of its head.
But longer legs.
That doesn't sound proportionally accurate.
It sounds like an abomination.
It
Because all Jasmine's picture now is a fucking Electrike with really, really tall legs and like the same size body and just antlers coming out of its head. Or just like spikes with like leaves poking out of it.
I flip over the notice that we got that I tore off the wall and I try to draw a picture.
Okay.
How well do I draw it?
Give me a sleight of hand.
Okay. This is gonna be like when Thalasia drew in Everly's journal. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is gonna look like a monstrosity.
It's gonna look like exactly what Jackson's picturing.
That's a 3.
It has been a while since you've seen one. You remember a mating pair that was picked up by your rescue at one point in time, but you were like 3 years old at the time. So 1, your memory's not great regarding it, but 2, Your artistic skills not really on point at this moment.
I'm a swimmer, not a drawer.
It's like those horrible pictures that you see where it's like
The kids' drawings and then they transform to real life.
yeah. Like the father
God.
photo manipulates
Makes
the elephant
puppies.
to look like the picture his son drew.
Love it.
So it is an abomination.
That's a really bad drawing.
I couldn't do any better.
Oh, jeez. Did the Pokemon come back yet?
The familiar Nurse Joy walks back herself, her arms full with 2 trays. She motions one towards yourself, Brooke,
Thank you.
and she motions one towards yourself, Jackson.
Thank you.
Oh, and oh shit, Nurse Joy, we have a package
She turns to walk away and then stops and looks back at you and says, "Oh,
for you. From oh shit, Haven? Haven Town?
She smiles. Haven Town?
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but it's been a crazy 2 days and I haven't slept in a while. But this is for you, I think.
She smiles and you hand her the small box.
Yeah.
Yeah. She takes in, holds in her hands knowingly and smiles. She says, "Oh, wonderful. Yes. I was told that this would be en route. Thank you so much for bringing it this way. And of course, we have a reward for you."
Oh.
And she snaps twice, and another nurse comes walking up, a young gentleman. He has a small tray, but not with Pokeballs on it. He pulls off a series of medicines, and he hands them towards yourself, Brooke. And he says, 1 potion, 1 antidote, 1 paralyzed heal, and 1 burn heal.
Jackson, do you want the burn heal and the paralyze? I have one already.
I feel like I have some of those as well. Let me double check.
I just don't have any potions right now.
Paralyzed heal, awaken, still 2 days of rations. I have a bunch of berries.
Okay.
So I might be fine.
Do you care if I take the potion?
Oh no, I still have 9.
Okay, I don't have any.
As you guys are divvying those up, you can see Nurse Joy is opening up the package and sort of rifling through. You can see there's a series of gauze, a couple needles, and she goes, "Oh, thank goodness we were running low on these tips. Excellent. And oh, excellent. Yes, I've been waiting on this for a few days now. Perfect. Thank you so much. I dearly, dearly appreciate this. And of course, if you're heading out to any of the other towns, let me know. I might have something that they've requested."
We probably will in a few days, so we'll check in.
Absolutely.
Matt, do you want any of them? Antidote? I just at least want 1 potion on me.
Well, let me double check. So I have Polar. Pokemon takes half damage directly, but a berry. Person. And what all was there? I think I might take the antidote. I don't
A
have one of
burn, a
those.
paralyze, and an antidote?
And a potion.
Yeah.
And which ones do you all have?
I have a potion, a paralyze, and a burn.
Then I'll take the paralyze or the no.
You'll take the one she has?
I just took the
Okay.
potion. So there's and then I already have a burn and a paralyze. So the antidote,
Yeah.
paralyze, and burn. Which
Sure,
2
I'll
do you
take
want?
The burn and the paralyze, and you can take
Okay.
the rest. Take that there. Ooh, I can take the timer ball out now. That is taken.
Gonna go over to the terminal.
Okay.
And I'll pop out Carmilla.
Okay.
Hi, Carmilla.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. You said you went over to the terminal. I thought you were
No.
gonna swap it.
I'm talking
Okay.
to her for a minute.
Excellent. You toss down the Pokeball, the timer ball, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
and out pops this Pokemon. It's larger than most of the things in here, but given what typically goes on in the center, nobody turns to look unexpectedly. And this large Pokemon sort of flaps, does a short circuit in the tall overhead above you, and then comes to land on a set of benches. It steadies itself and wraps its wings around its form like a long cape.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, I haven't slept in 2 days, and I'm honestly a little bitter and a little pissed off.
It just looks at you
More
and
than a
narrows its
little
eyes a little.
Stubborn, you might say. But I want to be friends. Like how me and Liam and me and Axel are, and how many of my Pokemon are starting to be.
But you.
But right now, I need some time to literally heal. And I also don't think it's entirely safe to have you out and about in this city right now.
You can see its eyes shift, and as it watches one person who walks past you towards the door.
You've caused a little bit of trouble. You know that, right?
Looks back at you.
So this isn't a forever thing. And I believe that you and I will grow to be good friends. After all, Sassy and I did. But for right now, I need you to go see the professor and behave yourself there. Can you do that? And I reach out, kind of hesitating a little bit, still a little shaken from the night's experiences, and touch her.
Okay. The Golbat does not move. It watches your hand as you get closer, and you sort of stroke down its...
her weird, wide-open, gaping mouth.
Well, at this point, the mouth is concealed behind what would be her massive wings that are tucked around her. So it's more you're brushing your hand over her firm, leathery, veiny wings.
Yes.
She is warm, and she does not have that same tremble the first time you touched her. But she looks at your hand and looks down, unfurls one wing outwards, just kind of stretches, and then settles it back down around her.
Because I think that once there's maybe not as many hurt feelings and hurt body parts, you can be a good part of our team. I need you to be a good Golbat girl for the professor. And you're bigger than all my other Pokemon, so you gotta look out for everybody.
Her wings come down just a little bit, and you can see the top portion of her mouth, those wicked fangs, and the corner of her mouth sort of creeps upwards into this half smile.
Yeah. Alrighty. You did good in the police station. You're not gonna hurt anybody anymore. You're gonna be one of us. I give her another quick scritch and say goodbye for now, okay? I put her back in the book.
Okay, she disappeared with a bright red light.
Shit. One day, when my body hurts a little less looking at her, and then I put her in the thing, and I'm gonna exchange Golbat for Meowth.
Okay. Yeah, you swipe your Pokemon trainer card. Familiar options appear before you. You push the screen, and it does your bidding. Quickly, the Pokeball is exchanged, and another one pops out for you. It is warm to the touch.
Oh, Sassy. Maybe one day I can be good at friends with Golbat as I am gradually with you.
Jackson, you notice she's doing this, and as the second Pokeball pops out, a computer screen, one of the telecommunications modules against the right side, lights up. There is nobody there, but there appears to be an incoming call.
I'll go answer.
Okay. A few people look at you, and one of the nurses sort of hesitates and watches you walk over as you pick up the receiver.
Ring, 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 ring. Phone call, phone call.
There's a bit of a hiss, and the screen turns on. Behind a few of the dead pixels, you see the tired but smiling face of Professor Large.
Oh, okay. Was this meant for me, or did I answer on somebody else's behalf?
She smiles. She says, "Oh, no. I saw that you were calling. Oh, Brooke was calling back a Pokemon, and I thought I might get lucky. So, hello, good morning to the two of you.
I'm running over.
I'm.
Good morning.
You look like death warmed over. I was so
like
concerned about you after our last conversation. I was kind of concerned that you'd go out and do something
Stupid?
Let us say foolish.
We did do something
did.
stupid.
And well, by the looks of it, and she holds up a familiar timer ball in her hand, she says, "You have seemingly discovered the culprit."
Yes.
Yes.
A big old gold bat.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. The Department of Serene City has been in contact with my laboratory. We sent them over a very detailed report earlier. I hope it
loved
sufficed.
Oh my god, it was great.
We wasted no time. I had Dewey work all night on that one.
Oh, perfect. He's probably our biggest fan right now.
Oh, he loves us. He
He's-
loves us, Jackson.
He learned a thing or two, and which is always good around here. It is absolutely one of our priorities, and so whenever one of the techs can have a chance to delve into a Pokemon or environment that they were otherwise unfamiliar with, well, it's a good day in my book.
Did you get my Golbat?
She's still holding the timer ball.
Yes, sorry,
Says,
tired.
It's okay. I'm quite tired too. I just had to phone. I was so worried about the two of you.
I'm pretty sure the police wanted me to hand her over so they could put her down. I told them that wasn't gonna happen and that she was in capable hands with me, and when she wasn't, she was in capable hands with you.
Yep.
I'm glad you stood your ground. That would have been
Oh,
a
you gave me
terrible
Shuppet, I
shame.
wanted Meowth.
Oh, did I?
Not that I have anything against my Shuppet. I love Shuppet, thanks.
Just, that would have been a terrible shame. I'm very glad you stood your ground. It's an unfortunate thing that happens here in Wundoro still, a bit of a disconnect between, well, people who are, in some cases, rightfully fearful of Pokemon and their effects on human populations, but
I mean, yeah,
there's
but
better
they're
ways.
just Pokemon being and trying to survive and doing what they have to do, and they just, if they're a danger, they just need to be relocated or under well-equipped hands.
Right you are.
I mean, like, Jackson's done so much progress with Mawile, and if Mawile was in a place like this, she would have been a huge danger. But she's not.
Speaking of which, I got a recent phone call from June. Said he had met with you, but thinks you gave him bad information. He doesn't seem to be able to have find this Houndoom that you have noted. He searched the roads back and forth from Haven to Bramble and the fields extensively, and I believe he's given up for the time.
Maybe we have chased it off? With the Exploud?
It's possible. Your guess is as good as mine, or perhaps another trainer came by and stumbled upon it before you did. Either which way, it seems that it isn't causing trouble for people in the area at this time or at this moment. And
Well, that's good news.
yes, a bit of good news. All right.
I'll take it.
She nods. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I best be off.
How's Ziggy doing?
Oh, you're Zigzagoon?
Yeah. Has he put down his trowel at all?
No, curious specimen, that one.
Yeah.
Quite attached. Great sentimental value, I've come to learn. I've had a few of the techs working closely with it, trying to keep it comfortable.
I keep trying to. He is eating though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anxious as all get out, but yes.
Okay. Good. And everybody else?
Oh,
They're
of
good?
course. Yes, let me just go down the list. Your Fampy and Caterpie seem to be great friends.
Wow.
We tend to keep these Pokemon in different areas, but they seem to find each other, which is totally fine.
That's cute.
And of course, we've found a small collection of stone statues of sort around the premises.
Yeah.
We believe
The
that
bonds, I like putting those up.
yes, and it seems like the two that you have brought to me are, well, no exception to that.
Awesome.
Again, truly remarkable behavior that we have not encountered before. We're studying it quite extensively.
So cool.
Very, very interesting Pokemon, and very pleased that you have sent them our way.
Perfect.
Jackson, why don't you ask about yours? Anybody you're curious about?
How's Belle doing?
She smiles and thinks, tapping her head, and she says, Belle.
So I could probably make this go faster by saying the Pokemon. The other Bonsly.
Oh, yes, your bonds. I'm terribly sorry. We have a number of Pokemon that come in. You know, I have a few different sponsor trainers that send them to me. Apologies if I don't recognize them right away. Yes, perfectly lovely. Hasn't seemed to have gotten any trouble, so kept out of my office for the most part, which is a good thing.
What about Angus? Electric.
Well, Angus is a different case. Angus is
Yeah.
constantly
Sent to
in
the
my
principal's
office. It seems like Angus believes he belongs in here, and that is not the case.
Yeah, he's a bit of a brat. Speaking of brats, how's Machu? What is Pichu doing?
Oh,
Jackson's got all the troublemakers.
well, your Pichu is a...
He's
We don't have many of them around here, so they're... The techs have come to know that one. It's on a strict diet, though it claims quite frequently that it is being starved.
Like Ghibli.
Ever the feisty one, that one, and but in good spirits. It's a very spirited creature, that one.
Yeah, yep, that sums him up about right.
Yep. In a nutshell.
Let's see, who else? What about Perp, the Sunkern?
I don't have a terrible lot to do with most of the grass types, especially the fledgling ones. They spend a lot of time in the greenhouse, and I have a dedicated staff who looks to them. Unfortunately, my studies have taken me to a few of the more rocky terrains recently. You piqued my interest between the Bonsly and the Exploud, and I've been spending a bit more time with those Pokemon as of late.
Have our Bonslies got you to build with them? Do they build together still?
At times, it almost more appears that it's done when no one's really looking. Like, they seem shy in that sort of respect. Creative minds, I suppose.
They should be proud.
I guess they should be for the number that they have constructed around my property.
Cool. Oh. We should come visit them all sometime.
We should. I could sit here and ask you about all of them, but
I
that
know.
might take a while.
As well, you're more than welcome to anytime you feel the desire to. And of course, I have sent an aide to meet you in Brambletown, but I haven't heard any word of whether or not you've met with them yet.
In Brambletown, no.
Yes.
We're in Serene City right now. I don't know if we've met them.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Of course, you're in Serene City. I'm sorry. I forget it myself. Yes. That was perhaps a week ago. You had requested.
Is that when we requested pagers or something?
She smiled and she says, how quickly we forget. Well, whenever you get around to it, he's running a few errands in the area anyways. But I fear if you take too long, he'll be gone, and I may not have a job for you anymore.
Oh, right, you had a job for us.
Right.
Oh boy.
How many days, by chance?
What's our timeline?
Yeah. Yeah.
She looks at her watch and looks back at the screen. She says, I'm not quite certain. I've got a number of projects on the go right now, and
Sorry about that. I think the explode kind of detoured us a bit.
Yeah, and then we found out about a battle boat tournament.
oh, a battle boat tournament.
Got really
so
excited.
That gives us a bit more of an actual time, because that was 50 days from when we saw it. And we saw it 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah. So Jackson and our plan is to really we're going fishing tomorrow to help with a poster. We have to do the gym, and then we have to go back and do the other gym in Brambletown. So we are headed that way. And I think we're on a bit of a time crunch, right?
You have 49 days left on the battle boat.
It took us, that's right. It would have taken us like 6 days to walk there, but we got a ride with the trucker.
Yeah.
But how many days did you say it was going to take us to travel down to where we need to go?
To get down there?
Yeah, that was a while ago that we talked about that.
It was a while ago. So, I mean, looking at your town map with indigo scribbled on it.
That boy.
That boy.
That boy.
You're looking at the better part between 6 to 8 days to walk to Haventown.
6 to 8 to Haven.
Another in that sort of range to get down to Bramble.
Right.
Similar range to get down to Dusty Roads. And then from there, you're not particularly familiar with the landscape or what it might be like between Dusty Roads to New Surf City.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does seem to be a longer stretch.
We only got a few more days that we can spend here, really. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like fishing, gym, maybe another day of work, or heading out, really.
Yeah. Fishing, gym, day of work, visit the cemetery, and head out maybe even that night.
Yeah, I think we're
We could
visiting
probably catch- I feel
visiting
like we'll be able to
cemetery
catch
today.
rides.
Yeah. And we're visiting the cemetery today, and
Oh,
then because we still have time before we don't want to mess our sleep pattern off entirely.
No.
And then tomorrow fishing, maybe the next day gym. We gotta hitch a ride, Jackson.
We've got to get into some more fights.
Yeah.
I need. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm gonna probably get back Machu and Angus at some point today. Actually, we're here. I'll do that after we finish this call, which we're still on. Hi, Professor Lodge.
Sorry. Calculating.
You can see as you guys were having a conversation, she's also turned around and is having a conversation with somebody in the background, out of camera. And she turns back and she fixes her glass and says, "I'm sorry, what
Anyway,
was that?"
We're very privileged to have you as our sponsor, and we're very grateful for you, and we love you, and thank you for writing an excessively long thingy to help save Molly.
She smiles and she says, Oh, excessive? No, those were just the footnotes. That was a very short report.
That's awesome.
We had
The
hoped
officer
to
didn't
uncover
seem to
more.
think so.
The officer was so irritated, but it made me so happy.
She smiles. She says, "I don't understand what the reason for that would be. It was very condensed."
I just don't think he appreciates it like we do.
Suppose. I mean, there were plenty of very informative graphs in there. Did you know the weight that a
I'm
Gligar
sure
can
the
gain in such a
pictures were his
time? And
favorite pop.
Oh, I'm sure if there was pictures, that would have been his favorite part.
she smiles. She says, well, if there's
Sorry, not to interrupt.
no, if there's nothing else, I should be getting on. You know, the day starts early here on the Poke Farm.
Thank you so much.
Anytime,
We're grateful.
anytime. And I'm glad to see that you're staying safe.
Yes. Safe.
We'll use that word for now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
Jackson and I are gonna go have a picnic.
Yep.
That sounds lovely. Enjoy yourself, you two.
Have a soiree.
Yes.
I'll try.
She waves enthusiastically, and the screen goes dark.
Off to the cemetery then.
Sure.
Off to the cemetery then.
Do-
Eh,
Do we want to bring flowers? Just
if
in
we
case?
can find a florist before we get there.
Okay.
If not, I have the one on my lapel.
Okay. As we're walking, I would like to look for somewhere where I could buy something that isn't rations and isn't Pokedonald's.
Okay.
Like maybe sandwiches.
Before we leave, though, I'm gonna swap out
Yes.
Zubat and Ladybug with Angus and Machu.
Maju!
Machu's coming back.
Yeah, I love Matu.
With
Pop up the Zubat real quick and say goodbye to Origuano.
Oh my god.
what'd you name him?
Origuano.
Origuano. It sort of flits
I
around.
appreciate that.
It sort of flits around in the air a little bit, and it makes a lot of noise. You notice more so than the Golbat ever made. Given its lack of eyes, if it's on the go, it is basically shouting a chorus of echoes. It draws a little bit of attention from the other people around, but isn't a terribly
Did I
frightening
do that?
Pokemon. What'd you do?
I'm gone.
You're back. Did I do that
I'm
somehow?
back? Maybe?
I was just adjusting how I was sitting and all of a sudden I heard a doo-doo-doop. And I was like, oh shit.
All good. Yeah, the Zubat continues to flit around your head.
My sunburns are making me really ouchy.
I'm not sure I can hear myself on the stream.
Uh-oh.
I'm just waiting for words and things. I'm very quiet on the stream.
I can fix you. This is probably a good time, anyways, for us to take a quick break.
Sure.
Figure out the technical
So we'll move
block that
to.
just happened.
That much more quiet. I'm just way more echoey.
Hmm.
The mics might be picking me up.
For chance. Melissa asked me to turn you up a little bit ago.
So should I switch to the intermission now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Intermission spontaneous cause technical things happen.
Okay.
Yay! Technical stuff is always fun.
All right. I'm gonna get up and get more drink. I'll take a look. Anybody been talking to us?
No, not so far. Oh, wait, no, never mind. We have a White Vulture in the chat. Hello, White Vulture. Sorry it's taken us so long to talk at you, just in case, depending on when you started tuning in.
Oh. Yes, but now we're having a brief intermission.
This is an RP heavy thing, so.
Yeah.
One more drink.
No, I think I'm good, but I could use an Advil. The heat is starting to get to me. It's been so bloody hot the last couple days.
Yeah, it has been, and my freaking fan decided to not be on during this entire stream, so I was sitting here wondering why I was so fucking hot.
2 fans on, but my sunburn is doing nothing for my comfort.
Oh, that's why I didn't have any music, because I was dumb. I didn't go into the Roll20 and turn up the music. Oh, and then I just hit exit game, because I'm extra dumb. I'll be right back. It's been a day, apparently.
Apparently.
Okay, Roll20, cooperate. Launch game. But yes, hello, White Vulture. Sorry. It has been a chaotic stream.
Yeah. More technical things you add to an already technical stream, the more things that can go wrong.
Yep.
Oh. So hot.
Yeah, even if you guys could just boost the hell out of me in Discord, which I probably already am.
I'll have to get Steven to do it. I was struggling to hear you, so I'd asked him to turn you up. And then I was struggling to hear you, so I asked him to turn the music down for us.
Yeah. You should even be able to go to the little sound mixer in the bottom right.
Already did that. I'll get him.
Oh, Stevie's coming.
Okie doke.
I'll get Meowth leveled up.
I've got to get. If I'm assuming this is going to be like a water gym, so I really want to get Machu and Angus leveled up.
Well, I'd like to see Axel and Sassy level up, because they're my next closest to level 6. Shuppet. Oh, that's a lie. Shuppet's ahead of Axel, but I need Axel for the potential water gym.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, Pichu was only level 4, Axel is only level 4, or not Axel, Angus is only level 4. But Billy's definitely my highest level, but he's not going to be doing too hot in that gym.
Yeah.
And then the only other option is Mewi, who I don't want to have fighting if I can avoid it right now.
Yeah. I was
But I
fortunate.
also don't want to take her out of the party.
That's true. I was fortunate enough that I leveled up before catching Golbat. So Golbat is within the area of Pokemon that I can catch and then be loyal. Or sorry,
Yeah.
0. Whereas you were still level 5 when you caught Mewi.
Yep.
And Mewi bumped you up to 6.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So Golbat didn't come with a negative for me, thankfully. So I can use her in the next gym.
I have grass Pokemon. Why don't I take some of my grass Pokemon out for this fucking potential gym? Because I don't want to get rid of Billy and I don't want to get rid of Mewi. And they're the only 2 slots I could free up right now.
Volume, but I was just a little concerned because last time,
But I might have to.
coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't think Dandy even has any grass type moves other than synthesis. Yeah, poison powder, but still. And Perp is super fucking teeny tiny boy. Level 4 though. But I need Billy and Mewi for this next bit.
Yeah, all my other Pokemon that might be okay in the gym if it's a water gym are so like low level that it's not worth trying to get them up.
Yeah.
So right now my options are like Meowth, Riolu, definitely not Chimchar if it's that type of gym.
Oh god, no.
Electrike, Golbat, Shuppet. Because all of them are level 5 or level 6.
Yeah. Plus, I've also got to go with the, you know, Jackson doesn't know what the fuck type advantages are, so.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, he can assume water and electricity.
Aren't friends.
But I don't think he would make the assumption between water and grass.
Probably not. How'd the iced tea brew, Steven?
It's faint, but it's good.
It needs lemon.
Maybe a little sugar. It's mostly
I
good.
put honey in it.
Is it?
I
Maybe a little
sweeten it with honey, but
Oh,
I
honey.
know honey.
That's good.
It needs lemon though. I like the lemon.
Oh, I feel I've gotten more sun in the last like week than I have in the past how many years? Like, with the exception of that trip to BC we made a couple whatever ago. But
You mean last summer?
yeah, like putting up this fence has been a huge task all in itself, and yesterday was awful. Like yesterday was the day that nothing went right. We intended to, like, Friday we finally managed to drill all the holes out. We put in all our posts. That was all great, and it went awesome. We used this new post fix stuff. It's a 2-part sort of expanding foam instead of using concrete dropped into the hole. Super neat. Way easier than using concrete. It was kind of fun to watch. Next day we put on all our cross members. I spent the rest of Saturday putting up the pickets. My mom and dad came down to help and chill and hang out. Sunday we went back at it again, and as part of what we were doing putting up this fence is we had to take down a tree that was in the way behind the garage, and like first problem out of the gate, we try to cut down this tree, and Dad's chainsaw got stuck in it, so we couldn't fell it. So we had to send somebody running to the store to pick up
Your mom was
saw.
already at the store.
Yeah, and we had to saw it down by hand, which was super tedious, and it was already a stupid hot day, so we were really tired. And then we were trying to put this stupid garbage dumpster into the fence, but the rivet gun that we bought to do some repairs on it would not work. Like the rivets kept getting stuck in it, and it was just it was one thing after another all day, and we were so frustrated, and it was so hot, and it wasn't making anything easier. So we got a little bit done at the end of Sunday when the sun started going down a little bit and it cooled off just a smidge.
Yeah.
But
Still a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, today I wandered around and finished off a bunch more of the jobs, and I at least feel happy that the fence looks mostly finished with the exception of some details.
Yeah.
But I can go back to work happy tomorrow. Somewhat.
Yeah. Somewhat happy.
Somewhat.
Goddamn.
What loyalty is Maui at now?
-1.
Oh, she's just upset. That's not bad.
Just
Exactly.
upset.
She's just a little nettled. But at least with -1, the only thing is saving throws have a negative, which isn't great still, but
Yeah.
it's better than the -2 where before activating a move must roll higher than a 10 on a d20 or lose their turn. Or the -3 being roll higher than a 15 on a d20.
I wonder how she would take to combat.
Oh, I think she would fucking kick ass, and I don't think that she's necessarily opposed to it. It's just Jackson's being like, I want to show her that she doesn't have to. If
Yeah.
she doesn't want to, and like everything is going to be her choice. So I know that she's like headstrong and will be like, I'm stronger than them and I could take them on, but
Does she? Yeah. She'd be kick ass.
Sorry, Jackson. I think I got your roster messed up. You didn't want the Zubat in your party, right?
No, he
Nice.
didn't.
There you go. Sudowoodo, Maul, Pichu, and Electrike.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you're all good, Brooke. Perfect. Are you guys ready to go back?
Yeah, I'm super tired, so I want to play.
Yeah.
Unless Matt needs an intermission, longer intermission, I'm good to play. Especially because
Nah, I'm
we
good to go.
started late.
All right. So, yeah, you guys gather all your stuff, finish your conversation with Professor Larch. Your Pokemon have been returned to you already. You received a bit of a reward for delivering a package to the Pokemon Center. Anything else?
hell.
I don't think so. On the way, I would like to look for like good picnicky type food. I'm going to splurge and buy some snacks because if we do find Jackson's wife's gravestone, I'd like to sit and have a picnic with her. So, I want to look for something like not a Pokedonald's, like sandwiches or something like that.
Sure. There's. This is a large city center where you're at right now, and you guys are pretty much dead center of it. So your choices are fairly good. If you're looking for burgers, you can get burgers. If you're looking for sandwiches, you can get sandwiches. There's plenty of little delis and stuff around. There's a nice little place that seems to be serving bento boxes. Another place that seems to have some sort of noodle dish that's served in these wonderful little Chinese cartons. But the choice is yours.
Get sandwiches. The bentos sound cool, but probably more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You head down to a bistro. Based on if you guys are just looking for a basic sandwich for what you're doing, are you looking to like feed yourself and your whole party type thing? Is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'll be feeding my Pokemon and myself.
Sure.
A nice sandwich with Jackson's, hopefully.
So for a meal like that, you're looking at about 200 Pokebucks each.
Okay.
A little bit more
I think that's
expensive than
convenient.
Pokedonald's.
Oh, perfect. I have enough.
I do too. Perfect.
Yeah. A little more expensive than Pokedonald's, but it's quality food and it's fresh.
And it'll be a good treat.
A jovial man with happy eyes serves you personalized sandwiches as you walk
Nice.
down the sneeze-proof covered case. You point to different deli meats and toppings, and he puts them together. As you note that you're buying some for your Pokemon, he smiles and he pulls out a different case with a few different sort of arrangements. Things that you typically don't feed to people, but different forms of greenery.
I let
cubed
Liam
meats.
hand select what he wants on his sandwich, but tell him not to tell the others.
Liam stands there with his hands against
I'm not
the
giving Billy
glass,
choice.
breathing heavy. It's
Don't point at everything.
fogging it up.
Just don't tell everybody else, because I don't want chaos in the store, okay?
Liam nods enthusiastically, and he very proudly chooses one of everything.
And I give everybody else what I believe that would be their ideal
Sure.
choice.
And Jackson?
I'm just gonna get like fairly basic sandwiches for everybody. I'm
Sure.
not giving anybody a choice in the customization because they will just. Billy will put everything onto it.
I mean, that's
Maybe
what
won't respond. Machu will just go over the sneeze guard and start eating everything, and Angus will just like run around the shop and bark and make a ruckus and not choose anything anyways. So
I
I'm just gonna
like it.
avoid all the chaos.
I think all my Pokemon would behave, but it's just not
I have
work-
all the shit disturbers right now.
As you
I
go
have the
through
shit disturbers, the good boy, and the good girl.
as you go through your selection, the man knowingly winks at you, Jackson, and puts together this list of assorted sandwiches. He packs it all up in paper bags and hands them and armloads to you guys.
Throw Liam up on my shoulders and just enjoy the walk.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
and
tips
when
his
we
hat.
get out, I'll pop out Billy and Maui.
Okay. Billy stretches as if he had been asleep for a long time. He seems quite happy to be out of the Pokeball looking around, and he looks you up and down and smiles.
I'm sorry about that, buddy. I didn't mean for you to get hurt.
He puts a hand behind the back of his head and kind of scratches and get a little bit embarrassed.
You
It
don't
was
have
a
anything to be embarrassed about. You did really well.
You did. You bought me a lot of time to figure out how we were gonna make an escape.
He looks at the two of you and he smiles.
Really did.
You want a fist bump, and I'll reach out for a fist bump.
Okay. He reaches out and he takes his hand and he engulfs your hand with his.
Sure.
He
I think
smiles.
Steve's camera's frozen.
Oh,
It might be.
my
You're doing
Man,
this face right now.
is it a good one?
Yeah,
You're like-
Cam.
Mid-sentence.
How do I open it? How do I open
Right click properties.
Right click, properties, and then just
Just hit OK. It should recalibrate. That's okay. I'll let you go. Maul, popping out of the Pokeball, takes stock of her surroundings. She looks around, up and down the streets as a car moves by. The head sort of swivels to watch it go. And she turns and looks back up at you, Jackson.
Hey, Mary. How's it going?
Just looks at you and then sort of looks away. Down the street that you guys are currently on, a few blocks to the north, the beach is visible, and she looks off in that direction.
Yeah, that's right. We were at the beach before. We're going somewhere a little bit different today, though.
She looks back at you and cocks her head.
we're gonna have a picnic.
Yeah, we're gonna go have ourselves a picnic.
She looks at the bundle of paper wrap sandwiches that you have in your hands, and her larger antler-like mouth sort of rears around.
That's for the
I'm
picnic.
keeping the sandwiches away. That's for the picnic. We need to get there first, and then everybody gets one.
Yeah.
She reaches a hand up towards you.
I'll take her by the hand and start walking towards the cemetery.
She seems
gonna
very
try to
surprised, like she was reaching for a sandwich and you took her hand and she's like, "Oh, okay." And you start walking her forward. And you almost pull her for a little bit, and then she moves a little faster to keep up with you and keeps walking. Every now and then you feel her hand almost like
Does it start to relax?
try
in
to
his?
pull away, but then she just gives into it and she continues walking. But she keeps looking up at where your hand is holding hers and looking back at her hand and looking at your hand, like she doesn't understand the gesture or why you're holding hands. Like, why do you have my hand, human?
It's just something that people do when they care for each other.
She continues looking at the hand and
Yeah.
at the street ahead. And
Right? And then I reach up to hold Liam's hand.
Liam holds your hand, but he's also looking down at the sandwich that you had wrapped in paper for him, leaking juices out the bottom corner of it. It being so full it barely fit in the paper wrapping.
I'm gonna stick the sandwiches in my backpack and take Billy's hand too.
Okay. Billy happily takes your hand and
Billy's the
skips
only one
beside
that
you,
Yes, he does.
stumbling every now and then, but then picking himself back up and continue going.
Oh, the fan art that could be created right now. It's skipping Billy.
It is I haven't decided what kind of day it is
No,
today.
it better be a nice day. We're having a picnic.
I guess we'll find out.
Don't let it rain on our parade.
Do. It is cloudy today, and there's a little bit of a wind. But it doesn't give you the sense that it's going to rain on you. It's warm.
Is it like nice, overcasty, somewhat windy, perfect temperature? Or is it gloomy?
I would say that it's closer to the warmer side than it is to the colder side.
Perfect.
That's not so bad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice day too. Not too hot, not too cold.
Not gonna get a
Doesn't seem
sunburn.
like a bad day.
Okay, and you continue walking. Are you gonna walk the entire way back to that cemetery?
Maybe,
How far away was
maybe get a bus. If there's a bus stop.
You guys ran last time through the night, but you would have remembered the details. It took you a decent while to get there, and you guys were pretty tired. but you made decently good time. You could take a bus there and shorten the trip considerably, but it will probably take you the better part of an hour to walk there. If not longer, because you ran last time.
We'll find a bus if we can.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, Jackson, I was thinking, if a younger you wrote that letter and those timer balls were you and your wife's, your wife kind of sort of saved our ass.
Kinda, sorta. Past me.
Yeah. Maybe this was like, I don't know. Maybe she had something to do with you finding it. Like fate.
Maybe.
To save our ass because she knew how stupid we were gonna be. She's looking out for you. I'm gonna go with that.
That's one way to look at it.
I'm gonna choose to look at it like that. Because, I mean, that Golbat still had some fight left in it after I caught it. If it weren't for that
Yeah.
timer ball, we might have been up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah, that could have been. It could have been bad.
I think she was watching out for us, even if we don't find her there.
Thanks,
But
bro.
I hope we do. Because I'd
Same.
like to
Well,
say thank you for sending me you.
Well, we'll find out when we get there, I suppose. Not entirely sure what to think of it all right now.
I know. Not. It's not easy.
A bus rolls up.
Put it.
A bus rolls up and the doors open. You guys get on, and it's a short trip to where you're headed. Again, with your trainer passes, you don't pay anything. And it drops you off, shaving about half an hour off your trip. It's now going on about noon.
Perfect for lunch.
The cemetery is not nearly as ominous as you remember it being. It's still cloudy and overcast, but the gates are open, seemingly by choice. You see one individual walking amongst rows up to the far right side, kind of walks behind the backside of the church. You see a few people walking by on the street, this being a residential neighborhood that backs onto it. Looking again towards the north, you can see Make-A-Wish Lake. The fog of the night, or the mist that laid low on the ground, has disappeared, and the cemetery is a much more somber but mundane location.
It's a lot less creepy at night.
Just a little.
Entrance.
Well,
Where do we start, Jackson?
I don't know. I guess we just go to the tombstones and see if her name is there.
Anything looks familiar or reminds you of something, maybe that's a good place to start. But until then, let's just look.
Sure.
It's gonna start walking, and we're both
Start
gonna start
perusing some headstones.
Okay. You guys start walking, and you note that a number of these are quite worn from age or lack of care. Some it's difficult to make the names out, some it's difficult to make out the dates, some it's difficult to make out whatever other inscription was on it, and some the tombstone seems to have been destroyed or gone altogether. You even see a number of which that are covered in graffiti, somebody having tagged them. Very few of the graves here have flowers to them, but you do see one gentleman walk in and move past you, smiling sweetly. He stops by one gravestone, dropping a bundle of flowers, and then leaves shortly after. Can I get both of you to give me an investigation check?
Okay. Come on. Nope.
that's a... Okay, so 7... It's a 19 again. 17 plus 2. Double check and see if that's right. Yeah.
So 19?
Yep.
Brooke is having a hell of a time. As she's looking around, Liam keeps tugging on your arm. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
We're looking for Jackson's wife.
Jackson, you note as you're walking along, you're taking close sight of these tombstones. I imagine in your advanced age, you probably have seen more than a few friends pass and spent a decent amount of your time in a cemetery, which doesn't necessarily make it...
chances he remembers?
Yeah, right? I guess we'll find out. Mary, who is still holding your hand, has her other hand outstretched and is sort of idly touching each headstone as you walk by, and looking at them herself. Billy is walking along beside you, almost skipping. He trips over one gravestone and stands back up. A little piece of it chips off and he goes, "Ooh, ooh," and he touches it and tries to, like, rub the tombstone, like trying to console it.
Oh, such a pure boy.
You take in a number of these, noting the names, or as much of the names as you can. You do find a few roses of various different surnames. None that you recognize.
No Ivers.
No Ivers. You do see one that has the name Rose without a last name, or possibly the last name has been worn by age. That seems to have passed roughly 30 years ago. But of all your...
His own fucking timeline.
But all of your search here, that's what you have found.
Does any of it seem familiar, Jackson?
There are no other familiar names, I should know.
I'm not necessarily meaning tombstone, but place, fences.
It doesn't feel familiar. I'm not sure. Are there any... I'm trying to think of what Jackson thinks he would do for his wife without remembering. I can make a roll for that.
Trying to remember of your wife without remembering.
Well, not like remembering her, but like...
But anything he might have
of
done
what-
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being like, what would I have done to, like, decorate a grave or, like, commemorate her without having any sort of recollection of her? Like, just him going, like, what was something that I would do for someone that I cared about?
Yeah, I think in this moment, it would be pretty safe to say, you remember somebody. You remember you having a very special someone in your life. Rose, you remember having a wife. You remember probably the cut of her hair, the way she looked at you. You remember her favorite flower.
I don't think I remember her favorite flower yet.
You don't?
No, that one hasn't come up.
Okay. I think it would be hard to say.
He's... He's gonna look for, like, planters or something.
Okay.
Something that's more well kept than just, like...
Something that would be more
regular-
permanent.
Yeah, something that's not just like a bouquet of flowers left on the gravestone that someone would eventually have to come up and clear the garbage out, sort of thing.
Yeah. As with most of the tombstones here, there are little placements in the front, a little bit to the side, where it appears that you could place an offering of sorts, flowers predominantly, and you've seen a few of the other ones. Looking back where the other man had placed one, he had placed his bouquet in a similar sort of arrangement like that. There are a few planters that are in front of the church itself that are cracked and decaying.
But no one left like a more permanent planter structure next to one of the tombstones?
Not so much. It seems like this is
on one or
maybe
anything.
not well kept and not terribly well traveled and old. This strikes you as being quite old.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming there's not any like vandalism.
Not
No
on
one's.
not on the rose ones that you've looked at anyways.
Are there any other ones that are vandalized?
There are a few. Yeah. I would say for every 10 tombstones you look at least one of them is vandalized in some way. Either a small tag or something larger and more obnoxious.
Sad, really.
Because
Disrespectful.
yeah. 'Cause there could be something that would spark a memory, a very specific sort of thing, but I also don't want to say it because it's spoilers.
I would say this strikes you as a foreign place. Despite your best attempts to jog your memory, I think you can say fairly confidently you have never been here, and the whole of Serene City is a new place to you.
Okay.
You do not remember any kind of a past in this town.
Well,
I got nothing.
I mean, we tried. And it is noon, and we're here. So, we just spend a day with all these people.
Might as well.
Maybe eat and I wouldn't mind trying to get rid of some of these tags.
See what we can clean up if we can.
Yeah,
I could go for that.
everybody deserves a little bit more respect than that.
Yes.
So, everybody who's here, I hope you know that you're not alone today. And my name is Brooke, and this is Jackson, and we want to have a picnic with you. I'm just gonna sit down, pop up a Pokemon, and say,
See.
okay, guys, well, this is a weird place maybe to have lunch, but we're gonna be respectful and share a lunch with loved ones past.
For the most part, Meowth, Ryolu, and Chimchar are looking at you. Ryolu already knows it's coming, and he's still like waiting anxiously for that sandwich. You can see his foot tapping on the ground, just smiling and nodding like,
And I've hand selected special sandwiches for all of you. And then I hand Liam his first because he's impatient.
Okay.
And everybody else is.
Liam takes his and he starts unwrapping, and little bits of it start like falling out, and he's like, ooh, ooh, and he starts like sloughing it back together. The rest of the Pokemon take theirs. Electrike, Axel, he was about to run off before you pulled out the sandwiches, and he stopped. Handing it down to him, he's like ripped it all into pieces, and he's chewing each little piece to it.
Sounds about right.
Sassy is holding hers and sort of picking at it a little bit by little, just delicately almost. And Chimchar has one in his big monkey hand and just... Jackson, you release the remainder of your crew. Ma was already waiting for her sandwich, and she gathers around. You can see there's actually a bit of a smile on her face. Billy has sat himself down on the ground and kind of has both hands on top of his knees. is looking up at you. Machu pops out of the Pokeball. It's been a long time since you've seen her. I think it's a her.
Let me double check.
I think Machu's a her.
I believe so.
Yeah, her.
You see her fur poof out a little bit, and she shakes herself and sort of mats it down a little bit. Looks around at her surroundings, and then looks up at you, and immediately notices the sandwiches. And you see little jolts of electricity come out of its cheeks, and it goes, and its whole body is like vibrating.
You can wait a second, Machu. It's been a while, I know, but Mary's been getting teased with this all day, so I'm gonna give her hers first, and then I'll give you yours.
You also feel Electric brushing against your leg, just
Yes, and then you
pushing
get yours.
hard against you.
And of course, Billy. And I'll just start handing out the sandwiches. First to Mary,
Okay.
then to Machu, then to Billy, then to Angus.
Okay. Billy waits very patiently as you hand the first two over. Mary takes hers, and she acknowledges you, and she acknowledges the sandwich as this like precious thing in her hands, and she very delicately pulls back the paper wrapping on it and studies it closely. Very alien to her, but she recognizes it as food, and she tries to figure out how to perhaps maneuver it into her mouth. You hand it to Pichu, and she throws it onto the ground, rips off the paper, opens her mouth as big as she can, and is trying to just like shovel it full on into her body. The sandwich itself, though, is like a solid submarine sandwich and is bigger than her. So it's not going terribly well. It's mostly just like her shoving bread and meats and sauces like over her face. And just like
It's
bathing
like the
in this.
cartoon of the like, oh, shoving it into their mouth and the cheeks are.
Electric likewise takes the sandwich. Is a bit more delicate than Axel, but Angus goes into it, spreading it out a little bit and eating each bit of it piece by piece by piece, and shaking his tail happily as he does so. Pichu is an absolute mess.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Like, of all the Pokemon, some of the other Pokemon have made messes by eating their sandwich. The biggest mess, easily Pichu. The second biggest being Riolu, who is quickly regretting having chosen every item on the menu, and is actually, like, looking a little sour-faced, like he's not enjoying it nearly as much, but he is determined to eat it all. But it's sloughing down his front, and he's like, he kind of smudges it into his chest a little bit and pushes it away. Pichu is just like bathing in sauce and meats and bread.
Just swimming in it. Backstroke in the sound. That's what I'm picturing in my head right now.
Food, glorious food.
Yeah.
Take them all to the lake and just have them wash off, except for Billy, because that would kill him.
We can have a bath or something, or a shower when we get back to the Pokemon Center, Riolu.
Yep.
Just enjoy your sandwich.
He looks up at you, still trying to eat it all.
If you don't like it, though, that's okay. Maybe next time, not everything on the menu.
If you can't eat it all, we can always save some for later.
He thinks about that, and he looks at the wrapping. And he looks back at the sandwich, and he shakes his head in defiance.
Don't make yourself sick, buddy.
And he continues trying to eat this sandwich.
If you do, wait until you're in the Pokeball.
Oh, I don't even want to comprehend what that would look like.
Oh no!
Because it like a cramped little space? Did they turn digital? Would the puke then just be digital?
You release Riolu, and out comes this
covered in-
giant blanket of vomit that just goes.
Oh, baby, no.
Yeah, each of your Pokemon takes their time, mostly devouring their sandwich. Some of them, this is a bit much for them, based on what you got. But they all make valiant efforts to enjoy as much of it as they can.
Is there a leftover sandwich?
There would probably be a bit leftover sandwich. You could even write down for yourself, Melissa, between...
My 4 Pokemon.
Yeah, so you have 3 halves. Riolu is not done with his sandwich. Jackson, likewise, you would have 3 halves left. Pichu is currently...
Despite her best efforts.
Despite her best efforts. I wouldn't even say she's finishing it, but she's making it very inedible
She's
very quickly.
backstroking in her sandwich.
Yeah. I'm not gonna correct her. I'll let her enjoy her food however she wants. I'm not here to. I'm not
You
here to
really
kink shame.
don't have to eat it all. The others didn't.
Riolu's sitting on the ground. He just looks up at you.
You're gonna make yourself sick, buddy.
Takes another big bite.
Here, why don't you let me have
He
this?
shakes his head.
Okay. You're gonna get a tummy ache. You're gonna regret the choice. You're gonna.
He
It's
shakes his
gonna
head.
be really bad.
He takes
Trust
another
me.
big bite.
It's like when you're a little kid and you eat too much ice cream and candy and then you get sick.
He takes a big swallow.
Okay. You're gonna have real bad poop later.
That was determined.
Takes another bite and keeps going.
Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed your sandwiches.
Everybody seems happy. Some of them have bigger bellies than ever.
I'm gonna
Pichu smells.
while Liam is determined to finish his sandwich, I'm gonna give everybody some love before putting them in the Pokeball.
Gonna give them some loves.
Yeah.
Love.
I'm just gonna spend some time with Riolu today because he's been struggle bussing.
So between you guys checking off tombstones, sitting down for lunch, I suspect you weren't in too much of a hurry. It's probably around 2 o'clock.
There's not much that we have to do today, I don't think. Really?
No.
There's nothing we can do. So once we're done, I think Brooke would like to try and see if there's any way that you can, like, somehow, like, we probably have, like, a... Do we really not carry, like, a water bottle? That's just not part of our equipment?
It would probably be part of like the rations.
Correct.
I was gonna say that seems like super standard. Probably take some water from her water canteen or whatever, and maybe some of the napkins if she can try. Combination of trying to scrape off some of the graffiti and wipe off. See if she can do anything.
Sure. It's a valiant effort. I would say you certainly improved the look of at least a few of the tombstones. But it would take considerable effort and the right materials to be able to do a really good job.
And just when Brooke's working at any of the ones that she's working at, just being like, kind of talking respectfully to the individual whose tombstone it might be, and being like, no one ever really should have done this to you. I'm sorry, but I hope this makes things a little better, and someone loves you. Kind of saying Matt froze in a very scary way, saying hello to the gravestones, paying respect.
And Jackson, what are you up to?
Doing the same thing pretty much. Sorry, my internet just crashed for a second there.
I know, it was really scary. Freaky
It was making a
expression.
sound for you.
The trouble of doing it over Discord.
Yep. And then once it starts hitting evening, we'll probably be pretty tired, so have an early night. So head back.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to accomplish?
Bathe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And make sure Ryulu's not sticky.
Sure.
And then probably just crash. If all my Pokemon are chill enough, snuggle puddle in the Poke Center. If not, whoever's chill enough to just hang.
So you guys head back to the Pokemon Center, which is an easy bus ride back. Entering back in, you guys move through the hospital sort of section into the more hostile looking section, and you break off into the bathrooms. You clean up some of your Pokemon. You note a couple other people are doing similar, washing off the day's grime and whatnot in different shower stalls and such. Some of which tending to their Pokemon as well. Liam looks very unhappy. His belly is big and full, and he keeps groaning, and
You're gonna get sick, buddy.
he's like, and he shakes his head.
We're not gonna have a sandwich that big again, hey? It's not a good idea.
He just continues to grumble to
Sleep
himself.
will feel better. Just don't get sick on me, okay?
He nods.
If you gotta get sick, just grab me and we'll go get sick in an appropriate place.
I will note, heading back to the sleeping arrangement, you'll notice that as opposed to the cots that you're used to at smaller Pokemon centers that they roll out into the lobby for people to sleep on, the bunks aren't nearly as conducive to such. They're small, really sleeping one single person of moderate size.
Okay, no snuggle puddle tonight.
Jackson, what are you up to?
Probably just doing the same, really. Just getting ready to hunker the fuck down.
Okay.
Bathing Machu.
Yeah, bathing Machu.
Machu
Seeing if
is
anybody else is interested in getting washed.
Machu is literally a handful, being that she is about the size of your hand, and
But
the
also
fact that
extremely hyper.
trying
Try to bathe a toddler.
yeah, she keeps like
Yeah.
crawling out of your hand, and you splash her with water, and she acts like she's drowning, and she's like, choo, choo, choo. You definitely get electrocuted a few times as you're doing so. Not like badly, more like bad static shock.
I just love shocks.
Just love shocks. It takes you a lot longer for you to clean up Machu than it does for Brooke to clean up Riolu.
Until he throws up and I have to do it again at midnight.
Most of your other Pokemon were fine. There wasn't really any concern there. And by the time you make it back to the bunks, Brooke has already been there for some time.
You had your hand full.
Yep, it took a while.
Machu never change.
Well, with all that being said, I'm probably just gonna do that thing where I hit the hay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep Maui out for the night. You know what? We'll keep everybody... No, we'll just keep Maui and Billy out. Put those two shit disturbers back in their Pokeballs for the time being.
Oh, Machu like steals all the food out of everybody's bag.
Oh my god. He's slightly nightmarish.
Just try and get Liam to fall asleep before me because he probably feels like shit.
He definitely lays down next to you, but he just continues to groan.
Just rub his back. Like a mom would do if their kid had a tummy ache.
Yep. It's okay, bud. You'll be fine. Just learn.
Just learn. Lessons learned the hard way.
Always.
You guys do drift off to sleep. Can Ryolu give me a Constitution save?
Oh god.
Saw that coming.
Me too.
He's gonna go like a rock star.
4.
4. So he doesn't get sick, but he
Oh,
also
really?
doesn't sleep.
Oh, babe.
So Ryolu does not get the effects of a long rest, and he suffers a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Coming to in the morning, Ryolu doesn't seem to be as pained anymore, but he does seem sluggish and tired.
Now you just need a good poop.
Sudowoodo and Maal seem to have spread out a bit on the floor. Sudowoodo lying just as spread out as he could be.
Yep.
Maal chose a corner, and she kind of ducked in, leaving her large maw-like antler tucked in front of her, protecting her body in the corner. And as you start to stir, you notice that she likewise starts peering out from behind that, looking at you.
I'll give her a wave. Morning, Maui.
She looks around, almost as if she were looking for some form of danger, but not seeing any, she starts to remove herself from her protected corner.
Before we head out, Brooke gives everybody some breakfast, offering up Meowth, Chimchar, and Electrike the other half of their sandwich if they want, or a ration if they want.
They're not picky. They absolutely take the sandwich.
Liam, do you want to eat, or is your tummy too upset?
Liam sort of waves you off.
Okay, later. Maybe for lunch.
Sandwiches are now inherently evil.
All sandwiches are bad.
And I'll pop out Angus,
Mm-hmm.
since Machu ruined her sandwich. And I'll give the other halves to everybody else who didn't finish all their sandwich.
So these are big enough sandwiches that they will basically count as their rations for the day.
Yeah.
That's how you want to go. Yeah, and everybody happily enjoys the remainder of their sandwich. Maal still handling hers very preciously. Like it's this thing that she's not sure if she should care for, but then settles on eating.
A baby?
How is it, Maui?
She looks at you between bites and sort of nods, and then considers the sandwich and again holds it close to herself and then sneaks another bite.
I'll take that as at least acceptable.
So, I only got 2 Pokeballs, and this whole thing was like catching Pokemon for reward, right?
Yeah.
How much a thingy again?
Was it like 200 Pokebucks per Pokeball?
I'm trying to look too.
I think
500.
that's why I don't have enough for one.
How much is a Pokeball again?
Pokeballs, from your memory, cost 250.
Oh, then I have enough for one.
Me too. Do we want to get one more in hopes that we can catch 3 and get 500 a pop?
Maybe. We might as well.
So Pokemart and then to the docks to meet Molly?
Yeah. What time is it now, actually?
Because you guys went to
Before we
bed
make
so
tea.
early, it's probably like first thing in the morning, like 6 o'clock.
Perfect.
We can always hang out
We've
at the
got
beach for a bit
Plenty
too.
of time. For sure. Do we know where a Pokemart is?
We went to one already.
Yeah, you
Oh,
would have
we
passed
did.
a few on the way. So it's an easy outside the building,
having
turn a
trouble
corner. And you're already there. A small bell rings as the sliding doors slide open. And a rather bored-looking man looks up and tries to pretend like he wasn't just asleep.
And go buy one Pokeball.
See.
So that I have 3.
That's all you guys are doing? You're not looking at anything else?
Don't have
That's all
any
I can afford.
money. I'm
'Kay.
hoping that the
I only
boat
have
will have
150
fishing
Pokebucks now.
rods.
You will note they do have a couple other things that you haven't seen at some of the other smaller towns that you've been to. Namely, they also carry great balls.
Mm-hmm.
Great balls are... Just double check this so I'm not lying to you. I hate lying. To you guys. Great balls are 500 Pokebucks.
Don't have enough.
No.
They also have super potions, which are also 500
Don't have enough.
Pokebucks.
I am very broke because I spent money on sandwiches.
Yep. If you didn't buy sandwiches, I could afford one of either.
Yeah.
Sandwich or bust.
You have to spend on luxuries for fun sometimes.
Yep. Are those the only 2 things that they have there that are different that we haven't really seen before?
Correct. Most of the other stuff you've absolutely seen. The typical array of antidotes, paralyzed heals, revives, elixirs, ethers, arrangement of fresh water, soda pop, berry juices, lemonades, rations, and an assortment of other knickknacks and paraphernalia.
Okay.
I really hope this boat has fishing rods.
Same. That would kind of suck if they didn't.
Otherwise, I'll have to get in the water and wrestle them.
Yeah, I don't know how good I'm gonna be at that.
I don't want to do that either. Seems like a bad idea.
I don't think I have anything that can swim either.
Yeah, Raulu didn't like the water. Not so
Oh,
much.
Yeah, that's right.
And his tummy hurts today.
Oh, so he's already got the cramps before he goes swimming.
Yep.
What have we learned? I'll look at Royolu.
He looks up at you and narrows his eyes a bit like, how dare you?
We're not gonna
No.
order sandwiches with every topping anymore.
He tries to act like he is not bothered.
Now, see, the question is, though, Liam, was it worth it?
He thinks about it for a long, hard minute, and he sighs and shakes his head.
Oh, Jackson, have you ever ate, like, as a kid, you eat so much pizza, and then you feel sick for, like, a couple days, but you had so much fun with your friends, and you ate, like, an entire pizza to yourself that it was just so worth it?
Probably.
I don't think the sandwich was one of those times. But maybe when
Doesn't
we
seem
win our
like it.
first Pokemon battle, we can go out and we can order a big ice cream sundae and a whole bunch of pizza. And then it'll be worth it because we'll be celebrating a win.
Maybe.
And we can all feel sick in the morning.
Do we get money from gyms?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope so.
We'll find out, I guess. We've gotten money from every other battle we've done so far.
Yep. We're just gradually walking
Minus
to
the one with Molly.
Yeah, Molly
We
kicked
didn't
our
win that
butt.
one. Yeah,
Really did.
just a little.
You guys continue to walk towards the docks, or I should say towards the beach. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, it is very, very sunny today. There's hardly a cloud in the sky. The sun is beating down on you, almost painfully so.
We're gonna get sunburns today.
But it is very warm, and as you approach the lake, more and more humid. The dock stretches out ahead of you, and the beach as well. It is a mix between that ashy, blacky, sort of gritty sand and a nicer, creamier colored sand. You can see a number of people are on the beach this morning. A few joggers move past you and continue running. You see what appears to be a young mother and a young son just setting up. It's coming into maybe about 8:30 at this point in time. You see a fishing shack on a jetty and another boat rental place down the way. Further down the beach, you also see the large, modern-looking structure that is the Serene City Pokemon Gym.
What time is it?
About 8:30.
Maybe if everybody looks in pretty good shape afterwards, maybe we can try and see if we can find some Pokemon trainers looking for a fight outside the gym.
Maybe.
Then we can get a closer look.
And have an idea of what the people going to the gym, what the caliber is of trainers.
Yeah. But I don't want to go first because then we'll have no Pokemon to catch these guys and we need money.
Yeah.
God, I hope I don't waste Pokeballs.
Same.
Like, 3 catches would be great. Ugh.
3 catches would be 1,500 Pokebucks.
Right? And then we'd have so many more Pokeballs. But if we only catch 1, then we replenish 2 Pokeballs. I don't want to do the math right now. We need this win.
Yep.
And just, sit by the docks waiting for Molly.
Okay.
Liam, are you sure you want to be on a boat with your tummy upset? Boats go back and forth and back and forth, and then your tummy starts to hurt more again.
Liam cradles his stomach and he kind of waves you off.
You gonna be okay? Because you could, like, take a break day and, like, hang out in the Pokeball if you wanted. So you don't get motion sick.
He just continues to wave you off.
I don't think Billy's gonna go on the boat.
Oh, Bailey's gonna come on the boat. It'll be fine.
But what if he falls in?
I can just recall him right away.
Okay.
Death.
If there's an issue. Before he hits the water.
Yeah.
Besides, it's a lake. I think the water's gonna be mostly still.
I hope so.
It looks like it today. You see another boat take off and move somewhere down the lake.
Here's to catching Pokemon.
You guys continue to wait
Hell
there
yeah.
for the next little while, and eventually you see the familiar sight of Molly
Molly!
walking down the beach. She is seemingly quite cheery. She seems to be smoking something. And she smiles as she sees the two of you. Hey!
Hey, Molly, how's it going?
I fancy meeting you two here.
Yeah.
You all good to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want a toke?
I'm okay.
Looks over at Jackson.
Hell yeah.
She smiles. There you go, Gramps. It's not terribly strong, and she sort of waves away the puff of smoke and says, "Yeah, best I could find, unfamiliar town. Don't know anybody here. Guy told me it was primo shit, and it's more shit than primo, but you get what you pay for, I guess."
I don't have a ton of experience, so I don't want to say I'll take what I can get, because that could lead to some rather unsavory circumstances and situations, but...
She smiles. She says, I talked to the guy last night. We got a boat ready for us
Cool.
here this morning. But fishing poles are off the jetty, It's a totally different rental, and I haven't talked to that guy yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but the boat, and she points down the way, it's like a paddle boat. So, there's 2 seats, which people can sit in and pedal with their feet. And then there's a couple seats on the back of it. There's also a number of holders along the side where people could either put drinks or put fishing rods into the side of it, and enough space to carry like a few tackle boxes and smaller Pokemon and stuff like that as well.
Oh, okay, so a Pokemon probably won't be coming on the boat. I don't think it'll be big enough.
For some of them, anyway.
Liam probably could, but I don't think any of mine really. Well, like Machu and Angus would probably be fine, but it's Machu and Angus.
Machu, Angus, I would say Maui would probably be fine too.
Oh, I'll have
Billy'd
Mary
be
with me
too
then.
heavy. No, Billy wouldn't be
I don't
too
think he'd be
heavy, but he's
He's only
decently
like
large. He's like a
40-something
whole nother
pounds?
person.
Okay. How many Pokemon of, say, the smaller
I was
size
83 pounds.
could we get out?
You guys aren't towing a lot of stuff with you, and there's 3 of you, 4 seats.
Because Liam won't go in his Pokeball, but Sassy is gonna fight shit if she has to.
Yeah, so there's 4 seats on there, so 4 human-sized people could sit there. So the 3 of you guys plus 1 other human-sized whatever, and then possibly another 3 Pokemon at any given time.
Okay.
You imagine the more Pokemon you put on there, the harder it's going to be to paddle, and the more difficult it's going to be to keep the boat steady should anything come up.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'll just have Mary out then.
You'll note the sign. It's like a little sandwich board off the side of the boat rental shack. Says boat rentals are 1,000 Pokebucks a day.
Ooh.
Molly moves back down the beach towards the jetty, where the second shack is. You can see her negotiating with a guy inside the shack, and she comes back with 3 rods. And she says, how long we planning on having these?
Till my Pokeballs are gone? I only have 3.
Same.
She nods. She
Few
says,
hours.
Okay,
Hopefully not too long then.
okay, I put down a deposit, but the timer's
Okay.
going, so
Sound
all
good.
good. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Us too.
Yeah, good.
Eager to catch some of these guys and get some coin.
She smiles. All right.
Hopefully optimistic today.
Forward. Oh,
Forward ho.
Is there a sign saying how much the fishing rod rentals were?
yeah, you guys would have passed that. On the side, there was various different bait and tackle sort of prices, but the 2 prices that stood out to you were you could purchase fishing rods from this location for 5,000 Pokebucks each, or you can rent them for 50 Pokebucks an hour.
Okay.
5,000.
Just
Jesus.
trying to think of how much Molly's putting herself out there. That's all.
I mean, we did save her Pokemon life.
Yeah.
Like legitimate life. Not that she owes us a debt, but if you want to put a price on being in prison and having your Pokemon die and you being charged with shit, a couple thousand Pokebucks ain't so bad.
Taking a mental abacus.
Alrighty.
Mentavicus.
Abacus? What did I say?
Abacus?
Abacus?
You did say abacus.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to smash the words together.
Yeah, so you guys are, you move down the dock, and you steadily move onto the boat. Given its construction, it doesn't sway as much as a rowboat would, and you imagine it's probably a little easier to handle. Who's driving this thing?
I can do some pedaling.
Okay.
Super athletic.
Molly waves the old man off, and she says, I got this one. You can
That
handle the
sounds
rudder.
I'll do just that. So I guess I'm steering, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys turn and start heading off.
Depending on how evenly Brooke and Molly pedal.
Yep.
Decently close. These things are pretty easy to handle. If anything, due to its construction, one person could pedal and it would continue to move forward. The sort of gear being in the center of it, but two people makes it easier.
Right.
So with two people pedaling.
It's not like those old pedal boats that you would fuck with your friends on.
No. It's one of the ones where it's you're turning the exact same gear, essentially.
Okay.
But if two people are going, it's so much easier. Or like one of those long bikes that seat like 8 people.
Yeah.
Are there other people on the water today as well fishing?
There are. Yeah.
Is there an area where people seem to be more concentrated, seeming to have some kind of maybe success?
Give me a perception check.
I'm a look 2.
Sure.
14.
11 plus. Oh my god. 12.
12. You see a number of people who are spread out. You see some who look like either older sports fishers or some even career fishers who are here, there, and everywhere, north, east, west, having varying degrees of success. You do see a larger number, however, of smaller boats towards what would be the east. Sorry, west. I know directions.
You have a 25% chance of getting it right.
Got it.
Guessing it right.
Yeah.
Oh, seems like there's some people over there. Maybe they're having some success if we go just off of them a bit.
Sure.
Paddle in that. I mean, we will keep paddling and hope Jackson steers.
Yep. Do we already have the fishing rods like in their holders with lures out, or?
I would say at this point you haven't. Is that something that you would like to do? Are you like looking to trawl, or are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Might as well while we're moving along. So I'll be trying to steer us away from other people's lines so we're not those assholes.
Sure. You guys start moving in an eastern direction. Do 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 do.
Will I steer? Is Liam in my lap?
Liam is in your lap.
Buddy, today, I want you to take it a little bit easy. I want some others to get some skin in the game for when we go to the gym. And you got a tummy ache, so you'll be my if shit gets bad guy. Sound good? I'm gonna pop out Sassy.
Okay.
And she's gonna be my active.
Okay.
For now.
Can I get both of you to give me a perception check? Independently.
Natural 20.
That's a 6. So whatever it is, I don't see it.
Okay. Jackson, you're pretty conscious of the other boaters around you, and you're coming closer to a larger sort of group of them. You don't note as your line picks up something, seems to dip a few times, and then goes slack. Same with Molly. She's putting a good bit of force into kicking, and really enjoying the warm weather and the lake air. Brooke, you see your line start to go.
Grab it and I start to reel it in.
Okay. Okay. You start reeling, and it is a tough fight. Like, whatever is on the other side feels like you're hauling in an elephant, and it is fighting you the whole way. As you're going,
Holy shit, Liam, grab my ankles!
as you're going, the line doesn't just like stay in one direction. It starts darting off in one direction and then another. It aggressively swings under the boat, and you feel like you're going to lose it for a second. Can you give me a just athletics check?
12.
12. You manage to hold on to the line long enough for whatever it is that you're reeling to come swimming back out from underneath the boat, and you start seeing the shape of it in the water below you. It seems to be decently large. It's got a...
It's got a... Let me look at a picture.
It's got a red and black stripe running down its back. Silver fins, and the underside of it seems to be green. It finally breaks the water's surface, and it jumps up. These big, mean jaws, and it's almost chewing on the hook that you had thrown down.
Is this the thing?
Can you give me initiative roll?
Hell yeah.
15.
Okay, so that's an 8 minus
Ooh.
2, so that's a 6. I can do math. And that was with advantage too, because of that thing that I forgot the Natural Explorer does.
Haha.
That's just how bad I rolled.
Have fun with the buttons.
Sorry, Brooke, you said 15?
Yeah.
As we get our Pokemon Wrangler music going on.
Okay, so
Is this a battle map or just RP thing?
theater of the mind, as it were.
So is it like melee range to the boat?
Currently, it is sitting at approximately 30 feet out from you.
Okay.
But it is at the surface of the water, and you're holding it there. So there are special rules for fishing, and I will go over that.
Okay.
The idea here is that at any point in time, the fish is trying to get away, okay? The fish comes up at 30 feet away from you. It will move 10 feet away from you every round, possibly, or more. You can use your turn to command your
Attack it, or
Pokemon
to
to
reel
do
it in.
whatever you want, or you can choose to reel it in. If you reel it in, you pull it 10 feet closer to you.
Okay.
If you don't, you risk it moving further away. If it gets too far away from you, then it could potentially get away.
Yeah.
You know, that is why I have a
Jibby's
dice
gonna get
tray
it.
here. Thanks, Jibby. Thanks, Mr. Producer.
Thanks for his help.
Don't thank him yet. He'll run away with it. You'll never see it again.
He's rolling it in there. Can hear him rolling it. You rolling good, Jibby?
Careful though, because he'll pick it up in his mouth and he'll run away with it.
I see him running, I'll grab him.
I just don't want him to choke on the dice either.
We have faith
No.
in Mr. Producer's ability to cause havoc, not in his ability to make smart decisions.
My cat? No. Is Jibby? Brian.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So, first up, a number of the other fishermen turn to look at you as this Pokemon bursts from the water.
Just made it easier for me
Thank
to
you.
get.
Thank you, Ghibli. You brought it right to me. Good boy.
He's like, you took my toy.
It turns to look at you, and it starts thrashing aggressively in the water, throwing its head about. The ripples that it causes start to shake the boat. Who's your active Pokemon right now?
Meowth.
Okay. So it's right there. Yes, causing an uproar.
Oh, yay.
So during this time, none of your Pokemon can fall asleep while it's currently in this uproar.
Okay.
Okay. That's what it's gonna do. Brooke,
Okay.
start of your turn, your Pokemon needs to make a Constitution save.
15.
15, it passes.
Okay.
So it is gonna take half damage from the uproar. Takes 5 points of normal type damage.
Jackson, I hope you got some range. In the meantime, I'm gonna get it closer. Let's make this 6 for 6 success. I'm gonna try and pull it closer.
Okay, you pull it 20. You just pull
Oh,
it.
I don't have to roll or anything.
No.
Okay.
So you pull it to 20.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Perfect. Molly's watching and she's cheering. She's covering her ears as this creature continues to make an uproar, splashing and wailing almost in the water. It's horrible. But she's like, yeah, come on. That's a hell of a big one. You got it. Is that what we're after?
Yeah, I hope so.
Jackson.
Action or a bonus action to Pokedex something?
We said bonus
I think we
action.
did bonus, yeah.
Yeah. So you can
Perfect.
bonus and then command your Pokemon to do something.
Yeah, I will bonus action do the thing with the Pokedex.
Okay. So,
See, confirm.
yeah, it spins for but a second when it comes up with a picture of this Pokemon, and it says, Basculin, the hostile Pokemon. When a school of Basculin appear in a lake, everything else disappears, except for Corphish or Crawdont. That's how violent Basculin are. Anglers love the fight this Pokemon puts up on the hook.
No wonder they want them gone.
Well, Maui, are you up for this?
Maui looks over at you and looks at the fish on the line. And just looks at you like, what are you asking? What do you want?
Remember that thing you did to me with the sweet smell? Can you do that to it?
She...
Ask her to use a sweet scent?
Okay. She looks
Ask not
over
tell.
it.
Is she gonna do it?
Ask not tell. Let me just look at this real quick. Okay. She looks at you and she looks over it and she moves her large antler shape in a fan-like motion towards it. You can smell this very sweet aroma drift towards the opponent Pokemon.
So he needs to make a charisma save.
A charisma save?
Yeah.
That's a natural 20. This
Oh,
fish strikes
okay.
a pose midair, and there's a shimmer of light as it splashes
So
back
fucking
down into the water.
charismatic fish. Well then.
Anything
That's
else?
all I had. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Sorry. Beginning of your turn. Can Maui
right.
make a Constitution save?
That's a 15. 15, yeah, 13 plus 2.
15? Pass. Pass. So you're only gonna take. She's only gonna take half damage. So that's gonna be 11. Sorry, 5 points of normal type damage.
Okay. Which is she resistant to? Yes, she is.
Should be.
So it's only 2 points.
Okay. Basculin is gonna continue to rage aggressively in its spot, trying to move away. Brooke.
Mhm.
Beginning of your turn, make a con save for your Pokemon.
Natural 1. Oh no!
Your Pokemon is going to take 18 points of normal type damage. As the Basculin's uproar continues, you hear cheering from another boat. Yeah!
Rough. Real rough.
Doing anything?
My turn. It's 20 feet away.
20 feet.
Oh shit. We need some range. Come back for now, Sassy.
Okay, Sassy disappears in the Pokeball.
I'm gonna pop out Axel.
Okay, Axel appears before you.
Yeah, buddy.
He suddenly realizes he's on a boat and he looks around.
Be careful. We're gonna get that thing. We're gonna fuck him up. You're gonna be good.
Not so much a fan of the water.
Molly looks around and she's like, damn, that fish is kicking up some waves. And she's trying to hold the boat in place, sort of kicking forward and then kicking backwards. Jackson.
Maui, can you try that again? Another sweet scent.
She looks at you, and as she does so, again, her large antler-like maw, in a fan-like motion, fans this sweet-smelling wind towards its opponent. She doesn't even look at it.
That's another charisma save.
That's a 3.
So it, when I fail, you have advantage on your next 2 attacks against the target, so.
Okay. Yeah, you see the Basculin catch scent and start to flop a little less. It is still in this crazy uproar, but you can see it's almost intrigued by the scent from the boat.
Perfect. And that's all I'm going to do.
Oh, beginning of her turn, she also needs to make a con
right,
save.
Right. Correct. That's a 14.
Okay, she just passes, so she's going to take
Yes.
half of...
A quarter of.
Ooh, a quarter of. So, so 8 would be half, so quarter would be 4 points of damage.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. The Basculin is going to continue its uproar. And it moves 10 feet away. It's now at 30 feet. Brooke.
It's 10 feet away? It moved closer?
No, it moved further away.
Oh, okay.
So you had pulled it closer
Yeah.
by 10 feet. It has now moved 10 feet away from you.
Let's take the gamble. Let's see if we can paralyze him. Thunderwave, Axel! You got this, buddy! Can you make a con save?
Yeah.
The fish.
For the fish.
The fish.
Oh, I think it's going to fail that. That's going to be a 9.
Essay fail. He is
He
paralyzed.
certainly is.
Good job, buddy. Told you you could do it.
He needs to make a con save too.
And he gets a plus. He gets a plus to his saves, right? It's a +3 if he's loyal, right?
Depending on his loyalty.
He's full loyal.
So it saves, yeah.
He's full loyal. That's a 10.
Okay. He's going to take 17 points of normal type damage.
God, these guys are mean.
Okay. Molly continues to paddle, keeping the boat in place. Jackson.
Ah!
This
But
Pokemon
I
has
don't
not yet been
know.
hurt.
I don't know what you have for attacks, Maui. Do you have something that can hurt it from this range? And hopefully, if she interprets that correctly, she'll use a fairy wind.
Again, she looks at you, not even eyeing the other Pokemon, and she fans her antlers at it, making a fairy wind attack at it.
Perfect. With advantage because of the sweet scent. And that's a nat 20.
Roll
her first
for
ever attack in a combat.
damage.
So that's 1d6 plus move, so 2d6 plus move. 2d. Oh, that's not great, but what is it? Plus Dex or Charisma. Both of those are 0, so that's 4 points of fairy tale.
Only 4 points?
Yep.
Even with a natural 20?
Yep, it was a 3 and a 1.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Maui looks back at the Pokemon a little surprised that it didn't do more. And then back at you and kind of shrugs.
It's all good.
Oh, sorry. Beginning of your turn. Con save.
Oh yeah, I didn't do it again this time, that's right. So that's, only a 10. So I'll take half of whatever this is.
That's not too much. 8. 12 points of normal type damage.
Reduce to 6. Okay.
Okay, it is the Basculin's turn. You note that it sort of begins to calm down a little bit, and it starts swimming more specifically. It looks back towards you two and looks at the small electric dog, and it goes to try to make an attack, but it is paralyzed. Let's see. It makes the attack, and it shoots off a spout of water at it. Yeah, that's going to be a 23.
23 hits him.
Okay.
Ooh.
You take 10 points of water type damage as it hits you with a quick water gun.
You say 7?
I said 10.
Oh, sorry. It was paralyzed. Did it roll for its paralyzation?
did.
Okay.
And it was fine. It also moves another 10 feet away and is now at 40 feet. Brooke. Brooke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna reel him in.
You're going to wheel him in.
I
Okay.
guess so.
Moves him back to 30 feet. Okay. Anything else?
I can't do anything else. I can't command my Pokemon to do
That's
anything. I
right.
can't heal them.
Molly looks over her shoulder. How's it going back there, guys?
Not great.
Jackson.
Do it again, Maui. Another one of those. I think that was a fairy wind. And another fairy wind.
Okay. She looks at the Basculin this time, and again, she fans her large antler-like maw.
So that's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Perfect. Oh, that's 2 points of fairy type damage.
Oh.
I am not rolling well for her tonight.
She, maybe her heart's not in it, but as you see the pink wind fly towards its target, it definitely hits it. But it doesn't seem to take too much damage. It's not terribly concerned. The Basculin. The Basculin looks back towards Maui and once again goes for another water gun. It is paralyzed, but gets the attack off. That is a...
Oh, sorry, I forgot to. Was it still doing the uproar?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
Uproar only went for 3 turns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to water gun again. That is going to be a 24.
Against me?
Yeah, against Maui.
Yep, sorry. That hits.
Okay, Maui is going to take 8 points of water type damage.
Which she's not resistant to.
Yeah, it kind of hits her wetly on the face, and she looks aside, almost offended. Rook.
So it's 30 feet away.
30 feet away.
I hate this. Pokemon aren't doing good. I'm gonna put it's an action. I'm gonna put 15 points into Axel.
Okay.
So he doesn't fall unconscious. Okay, that's all I can do.
Okay. Molly keeps the boat steady. Jackson.
Maybe I don't want you getting hurt anymore, so I'm gonna put you away for a bit, and I'm gonna swap her for Machu.
Okay, Machu appears out on the boat. Machu looks very concerned that the boat is moving under it, but then looks around, sees the fresh air, sees the Pokemon flopping in the water in front of it, and it sort of smiles, and jolts of electricity starts spouting off of its cheeks.
And I can't really do anything from a bonus action right now, can I?
What would you like to do? I don't know if there's much.
Yeah, it's not uproaring anymore, so it's not like I can't stabilize the boat or something.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Okay. The Basculin is going to move 10 feet away, putting it at 40 feet,
I hate that he can move and do things.
and is going to use water gun against Pichu. That's going to be a 17.
Yep,
I
that hits.
don't like
forgot about
these
Mary's
fishing
Intimidate, and I could have given him disadvantage.
Pichu takes 14 points of water type damage. Yeah, the water
Okay.
flops over Pichu's form, and Pichu looks just horribly offended. It's now wet. It looks like this shriveled rat, and when its cheeks light up, its entire body just bristles with electricity.
It's also very hurt.
Rook,
He's 40 feet away now.
40 feet.
I don't like these.
Oh god damn it! There's nothing he can even do, or she can even do
I know, and I can't get it.
from that distance. I swapped her in to take most of her hit points off. And
Is there
that seems to be
anything
about it.
I can do to try and pull it more than 10 feet in a turn?
Not so much, only because it's 6 seconds. It's a very, very short period of time. I mean, that doesn't mean that your Pokemon can't get closer.
Let me can swim. Doesn't want to swim. I don't want to make him.
I'm not telling you what to do.
I just don't like that it's not a contested. When you're fishing, it's a contested. Like in real life.
Well, you wouldn't like what would happen if it won then. It'd be a very
That's
short
fair.
battle.
I move him 10 more feet
At
forward.
least-
'Kay.
But also, at least this way, not just the strong person has to be put on reeling in duty. It can be anybody in the boat.
I know, I guess I just wish that, like, I could choose to try and, like, force him to fight me to pull him an extra 10. Like, be like, I want to, you know, instead of just being, you have the option of attacking or 10 feet. I wish I could, like, force additional movement towards me, but if he wins the strength, I only get the 10. Or something.
I mean, there's always things outside of either reeling or attacking that you can do. It's totally up to you.
At the end of my turn, he's 30 feet away.
Okay. Molly continues with the boat. Jackson.
There's not a lot that he can do.
I know, it's...
She needs to get 10 feet closer, but she's also down to 4 hit points.
So it is 30 away currently.
Yeah. Oh god. What does Angus have? More hit points. Just get ready for the next one, Machu, and try to dodge it. Gonna take the dodge action?
Okay. Pichu bristles with electricity, but sets itself in a patient sort of stance. The Basculin
He's paralyzed.
looks between the two Pokemon and shoots towards Angus.
Axel.
Axel, my bad. Getting them confused. That's going to be a 25 to
Are
hit.
you rolling for paralyzation?
That time I didn't. Thank you. That's fine.
It's a what to hit?
25.
Over 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is going to be 17 points of water type damage. Like a pistol from the water.
Okay.
Brooke. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Currently, the Basculin is flopping about in the water. It keeps turning around, taking shots at your Pokemon. It is pulling, but you seem to be pulling it backwards more often than not. There's a group of other fishermen who are likewise fishing around. None of them seem to have anything on their line, and a few of them are sort of cheering you on. Molly is paddling and paddling and paddling, saving you guys from being pulled anywhere.
Okay, buddy. If we want to catch this thing, you gotta be brave, and I believe in you. I need you to take a charge at him, but it means you gotta go swimming. Charge and tackle?
Okay. He whimpers a little bit,
I'm
but
sorry.
he backs up.
I'll buy you a special treat if we catch him.
He runs towards the edge of the boat and jumps.
So he's gonna do a charging tackle.
Okay. So he clears the distance pretty easily. Yeah, with his dash, because he moves half speed in the water, and he makes it all the way. He does this wonderful little puppy paddle towards it, picking up as much speed as he can and sort of almost dolphin diving towards it.
17 hit.
17 hits.
Okay.
I didn't roll for a level of hit die for much.
Oh, didn't you?
It's still only showing 3d6 instead of 4d6.
Oh.
I need to talk to Steven about Chimchar because I
God.
don't know if I...
Oh, we settled that earlier.
I think I'm very confused as to how his hit points
We
would
can
be
talk.
able to be that. So we'll talk about it afterwards.
And then I roll 3 minus 1.
That's 11 points of
Wicked.
normal type damage.
Yeah, surprisingly effective. The Basculin didn't expect your Pokemon to jump off the boat and come after it, and it nails it.
But he had to take his dash action to get there, right?
Correct. So right now, the two Pokemon are basically in melee range with each other. The Basculin trying to tug against the fishing line, and your dog puppy paddling right there on top of the water. Molly looks back. What's happening? What's happening?
How does it look? It probably looks great.
It looks pretty good. You guys have barely touched it at this point.
Yeah.
Jackson.
How far out is it?
It is currently 30 feet.
Okay. What do you do? Try to make it like you. I'm just gonna use charm.
Is that a save?
Yep, that is a wisdom save.
That's a natural 20. So,
Yep.
Machu is like a drowned rat. Its fur pressed close to its form, and as it turns around and sort of blinks, looking towards the Basculin, it catches the Basculin's eye for a second, and then it just sputters out, and the thing continues to splash and fight aggressively against the line, having zero effect.
Great.
The Basculin, however, is going to turn around, seeing this Pokemon swimming right in front of it. It's not going to try to move away, and it is going in for an attack. It sort of dives under the water a little bit and jumps up underneath.
Roll for paralyzation as well.
Yeah. Is able to make its attack. That is going to be a 17.
17 hits.
That one and this one. That is 15 points of normal type damage.
Axel is recalled to Pokeball.
Okay. It knocks the Pokemon out. And it chose to stay there that turn. So it's still 30 feet away. Brooke.
Well, first off, my free
Yes.
is to have Liam become my active. Where
Okay.
he is. And it's 30 feet away.
It is 30 feet away.
Liam, use Force Bomb!
Okay.
Natural one.
Oh no, why does that move fail so often? Yeah, Liam, clutching his stomach, looks over the edge of the boat. He tries to make a forceful palm motion towards it and just kind of putters out, and he goes and swallows something back down.
Into my turn.
Molly sort of looks at Liam and says, oh, dude. Oh, I feel bad for you. Are you not feeling too good today, man? Jackson.
Machu, shake your booty at it, and he's gonna use a tail whip. She's gonna use a tail whip.
Okay.
That's a wisdom save.
That's a 10.
Oh my god, it doesn't make it. So that's a +1. What does this work? Hang on. On a fail, allies add +1 to any attack they target it with for the duration, which is 1 minute.
There you go. +1 on it. Yeah, it catches its eye this time, and it seems a bit confused by the whipping tail and a bit distracted, leaving itself open to attacks. However, it does turn around and try to make an attack against your Pichu,
Shit.
who has caught its attention.
Roll for paralyzation.
Roll for paralyzation. Thank you. And it's
Fail,
paralyzed.
fail, fail, fail.
Yeah,
Oh, thank
it
God.
just kind of sputters in space, and you can see its body go stiff for a second as electricity sort of races through between its gills, and it sits there flat on top of the water, restrained. Brooke.
Can I take advantage of the fact that it's restrained and say it's not fighting against me and pull an additional 10?
Sure.
I'm gonna pull it 20 feet then.
Okay. So it is
20 feet
at
away.
20 feet.
No,
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
it didn't move its turn,
didn't
so it's
move.
10 feet away.
10 feet away.
That's right. Molly continues on the boat. Jackson.
Yeah, can you shock it from here? And he's gonna use a thunder shock. And so it's a ranged attack against a restrained creature. Does that have advantage? or
It
is that
does.
just straight.
It's
Okay.
advantage, yep.
That's cocked. And that's good. That's a, what are you, strength dex? So +2, +1. 18.
18 hits.
Hell yeah, what do? I've never used you before. D6. Roll, oh yes, there we go. So that is 7 points of electric damage.
Okay. You notice as the little stream of electricity juts out from the Pichu itself not being a terribly strong Pokemon or in real great control of its electricity, the shock hits the water and spiderwebs out from there. The Basculin, unable to avoid it by any means, is caught in it, and it lights up like a Christmas tree. It seems to be quite vulnerable to this attack.
I'm gonna give Machu a fist bump.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's the first attack he's ever used. Like attack.
Attack.
He usually gets fucked up right away due to his 18, now 20, because I rolled that last level, hit points.
The Basculin regains its composure, and it turns backwards, surveying the boat, and it is going to go into another uproar.
Oh,
Roll for
shit.
paralyzation.
Yes, it goes into an uproar. And it moves 10 feet away. You pulled it last turn. It's 10 feet. Brooke.
It's at 10 feet?
Yeah.
I thought it's 20 feet now.
No.
It was right
Because
up.
you pulled it last turn.
But it only got to 10 feet from
Yeah,
the boat.
it was
last
10 feet away from the boat.
Yeah. No, I know.
So it's still only 10 feet from the
It
boat?
only moves on turns that you didn't pull it.
Oh, okay.
turn. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna bull him right up close to the boat.
Okay.
Have that sucker flopping around on the side. How does he look?
He's definitely taken some hits now. You can see he's a bit charred, and a bit distracted by some of the blows and the moves that have been used. It's particularly hard to tell at this moment, given the fact that it's flopping around so aggressively and causing such an uproar.
Okay.
But yeah, you pull it directly against the side of the boat. It is a melee range with anybody on the boat. You guys are all subjected to the uproar. And it is just flopping aggressively against the side of the boat. Molly is paddling furiously, and the whole boat is shaking. And she goes, "What did you do?" Ah! Jackson.
Made it
Gonna make a
easier
save
to
for me and
catch!
Pichu?
Please, no, for the sake of this, just Pichu, make a con save.
Okay, this isn't gonna go well. Nope, that's a 4. Bye, Machu. Unless
Machu.
you roll hilariously low.
Uh, 13 points of normal type damage.
Yeah, he's back in the Pokeball.
Pichu flies backwards.
And Angus
Disappears
comes
inside
out
a
in his
ride.
place. Her
'Kay.
place.
Angus appears before you.
And does Machu fainting
It's a free.
make it so I don't get that action? Yeah, it's a free
No,
action.
that's weird. So you took the damage at the beginning of your turn. You haven't had a chance to take your action to command your Pokemon to do anything. So you can still command Axel to do something.
Yeah,
Or
that's what I mean.
Angus.
The
Yeah.
exchange was free.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Angus, boop him with a tackle. He's gonna tackle him.
Okay. He jumps over the side of the boat and almost with a headbutt, hanging himself
There
over,
we go.
goes for an attack.
That's better. So that's strength. Dex plus 4. 14 to hit.
14 just hits.
Hell yeah, boy. And that's 1d6 plus move again. Oh, that's only 3 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
Because I roll another 1.
Okay, top
Another
around.
1.
The Basculin is going to continue to flop around, causing an uproar.
Does it have to roll again for it or no?
No, because you pulled it in last turn.
No,
Brooke.
for the paralyzation. Does it have to roll for it, or is it just a continued
That's a good
effect?
point. It's a weird. It is a concentration thing. Doesn't matter. I rolled it. It's passed.
Okay. So I have to make a con save.
Yep.
Oh, my camera died again. I was wondering why I was so staring at one spot.
You're just very
7.
intent. 7 does not hit.
No, con save.
Oh, 7 does not pass. Your Pokemon is going to take 12 points of normal type damage from the uproar.
Okay. Okay. And that, because it's in melee, does that count as something he can counter or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because this wasn't. That's weird. No, this isn't something he can counter.
Okay.
Is it a melee attack?
It's not.
Yeah.
All right. Raylu, quick attack. Oh wait, hang on.
Remember, he does so at disadvantage because he's got a point of exhaustion.
I thought that's only ability checks, not attacks.
Attacks and ability
Yeah, I
checks.
thought attack. Oh, right.
I thought attacks was
3
later.
levels of saving throws.
Hmm?
No, saving throws is 3rd level of exhaustion.
Correct.
That's the later one. 2 levels is half movement speed. 4 levels is like terrible.
Doesn't matter. They both missed anyway. They both would have missed. Okay, quick attack again!
What do you get?
10.
10? 10 does not hit. Liam continues to hold his stomach. You can see his face turning a little bit green as the boat continues to rock, especially with this Pokemon so close to it shaking around. He makes 2 attacks that are very, very woeful.
And my turn.
Jackson.
It's still within.
It is within...
Melee?
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. Then boop it again, Axel. Or not Axel, Angus. Now I'm doing it, goddammit. And another tackle. That's only like a 5.
5 does not hit. To be fair, it's a difficult target to hit over the side of the boat, and Angus isn't doing a great job of doing so.
No, I did not have disadvantage. First level is disadvantage on ability checks, 2nd is speed, and then 3rd is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. I have 1 point of exhaustion.
Disadvantage on...
Ability checks only.
Fair enough. Where was I getting attack
Oh, yeah.
rolls?
I don't know. I tried to tell
Okay.
you that was wrong.
Okay, you can roll your attacks again if you'd like.
One is a 14, one's an 18.
Both hit.
Much better. I was like... Mm. "14 points of normal type damage."
Okay. At this point, it's starting to look much more hurt. Top of the round.
Well, did Matt get to finish his turn? Because I interrupted it because I was correcting you.
Yeah, he did, and he
Okay.
missed.
But if I saw that it was hurt, I would have done a Pokeball
Yeah.
instead.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Sure, I'll do that. So, where's my Jackson? There's my Jackson. Get rid of one Pokeball.
Give me a Pokemon
And-
handling check.
Come on, you big money, big money. That's not great. That's not terrible money, but it's not big money. That's an 18.
Okay. The Pokeball rolls mid-water. You see it disappear beneath the surface. And then there's a bright red light, and the Pokemon appears on the surface of the water again.
Okay.
Okay, the Basculin's turn. It is going to continue to uproar and move 10 feet
But
away.
I would have had. I didn't ever make that save for Angus though. Con save for Uproar.
Oh, good call. Yep, go for it.
So that's 13.
13 does not pass.
Okay.
Angus takes 20 points of normal type damage.
Jesus, calm down.
It
I
rolled
know.
almost max
I'm
damage.
unimpressed with these things.
That would have insta-gibbed Machu.
Yep.
How's Angus looking?
A third.
'Kay.
Of his former self.
Yep. Meowth is like out of commission right now.
Brooke,
Like I could bring her back, but 'Kay,
first make
first
a con
off-
save.
no. Well, first off, when the Basculin moved away, because he would have been right up in melee with me, which means he would have been up in melee with Liam, who would have been standing next to me. Does he
Oh.
get a hit?
Fair point. Yeah,
And Angus.
2 attacks of opportunity if you want to take them.
Perfect.
I would have
Wait,
missed.
would it
would've
technically
been
be
a 10.
4? Because me and Brooke would get an attack, and then Angus and...
If you
The other
two
Pokemon
would
would.
like to make an attack. Well, no, not for Brooke because she's holding the line.
Oh, right. I'm going to try to punch it.
Okay, go for it.
Liam would have missed. It was a 10.
It's not going to work out well.
Liam
So,
misses.
Okay, yeah, so that's a 6 for Jackson to hit it.
It does not hit.
Saw that coming. But
You missed punching the
for
fish.
My boy, that's a 12 or 22, not 12.
22 does hit.
Perfect. Quan D6, roll better. Hey, that is better. That's 7 points of normal type damage.
7 points. Okay. This Pokemon is growing sluggish. It looks like it doesn't have a lot of fight left in it.
My turn?
It is your
Con
turn.
save? Con save?
Con save.
Uh, 11.
11. So you fail.
11.
You take 20 points of normal type damage as it rocks next to the boat.
How many, sorry?
20.
Spaced out. Are you rolling for paralyzation?
That time I didn't. It's fine.
I don't believe you. Okay, I'm gonna try and catch it.
Okay. Throw a Pokeball. Pokemon handling check.
16.
16. The Pokeball rolls for but a moment, disappearing below the surface of the water. There's a bright light, and the Basculin appears above the surface again.
You shitting me?
These things.
Did you
are
roll at
pain in the
advantage because it's
ass.
paralyzed?
No.
I didn't either. I forgot
Oh.
about that.
Not better?
No, it's a lot
Oh,
better.
that's a 21. for Jackson. If it was an
21
advantage.
did still not get it.
Holy.
22.
22. The ball rolls and rolls and rolls, and it sinks deeper and deeper into the water. You lose track of it for a moment until it finally bobs back up to the surface. And sits there.
Did I catch it?
It appears so. You see a guy on another boat go, "Ah! I've been out here all goddamn day, and I've pulled up 2 of those, and they've broken the line both times."
For reference, Matt, that means we have to roll a 19 or a 20.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 19. And I assume you rolled an 18.
I rolled a 17. Jackson's modifier is +4.
Oh, so yours is higher than mine.
Yeah. Let me double check.
Move that bitch in my thing.
Or yeah.
Bin.
Well, both of ours should be +4 because it should be wisdom plus proficiency, and your proficiency should be +3, and your wisdom is the same as mine.
No, my wisdom's a 10.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then yeah, I just have 1 more. So now here's the question. Was that worth the effort? With how much boat rentals will cost,
You want to keep that
How
Pokemon in your
much?
party?
No.
fishing rod rentals will cost, and how much Pokeballs will cost.
No, I don't want him in my party.
I
Get him away.
I moved him.
We need at least 3 to break even in a day out on the lake.
Well, and at this rate, I have to give Axel a special good boy treat for jumping in the water.
Molly wipes her brow and says, "Shit, man, like, is that what you were after? Or is that something else? That was some sort of fucking sea monster, man."
That is a fucking
You know,
sea
that's
monster.
What we were after.
But it
That
is what
was
we were
terrifying.
after.
Oh, man.
Does the ad say we just have to catch it and give proof, or do we have to give it to them?
The ad only mentioned sending it to... Let me just double check here. Yeah, for each specimen transferred to the labs.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that you relinquish your ownership of it. It's just purely they want something to study for the purpose of investigating this invasive species in this lake. Brooke looks very unimpressed.
I do look unimpressed.
Liam looks very sick.
Jackson does too, as he does the math and goes, "This isn't gonna be worth it."
Well, Meowth is already down, like low.
Same with Machu's out. Angus is super low. Maui's at about half.
Axel's out.
And that was for 1.
Liam's like half but sick to his tummy. And I mean, I was kind of not thinking these were gonna be that bad. Otherwise, I would put Keegan in the box. But I told him that I'm not gonna do that to him. And he's
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna do well.
Fair enough. Maybe did surprisingly well. I'm honestly surprised she cooperated.
So maybe it's not.
Well, because by the time you factor in the boat rental and the fishing rods per hour, like how long have we been out on the lake now?
You guys picked up and you took off, and this was your first catch. You've been on the lake for maybe half an hour.
And Billy cannot fit on the boat.
Billy could fit on the boat. Yeah.
But Billy would
he
get
would also
hurt
be
really
the
bad.
worst matchup.
Yeah.
And
Well-
he wouldn't be doing too much. because if it's been a half an hour, we have 3 rods. That's 225 Pokebucks, 1,000 Pokebucks for the boat rentals, and then 500 Pokebucks for the 2 Pokeballs that we just used. We're already out 1725.
Yep.
You see a boat
So
approaching
if we were
you.
to come out tomorrow.
Sorry, keep going.
So if we were to come out again tomorrow and try to do all this all over again, even if we caught a few, we'll need to at least catch 4 to break even, make a tiny profit.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. The only thing I'd say is if we have to paddle back anyway, we might as well trail the things and see.
Yeah, we might as well. But there was a boat.
Yeah, so a boat starts approaching you. The same guy who was yelling at you earlier seems to be an older gentleman. Great big beard, floppy hat, and he looks over and he says, "Ha! Permission to come aboard!"
You're not gonna. Us come aboard
Granted.
your boat?
I'm just joking with ya. I wanted to commend you on your wonderful catch there. Expert fishing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That was a good show you put on. I thought she was going to get away from you for a little bit there, but
I was too mad to let it go.
a true mark of a fisherman.
We persist on seething rage.
Yep.
Molly puts up a hand and says, "I prefer fisherwoman." He takes a long drag. He strokes his beard and he says, "Huh, I ain't seen you around here much, and I see everyone here. What's you're just out here looking for the Basculin then? I take it you read the notice."
Yeah, we were hoping
Yeah,
we
we
could
did.
get some cash, but turns out that the fight is so hard and the rental equipment so much, it just might not be worth it.
He smiles and tips his head. He says, I know what you mean. There's been more than a few trainers scared off the water by those crafty creatures. They certainly are the devil, aren't they?"
They're sure mean.
Well, I sure appreciate what you're doing. You know, they've chased off all the feebash and stuff. My typical wares, you know. It's a sad thing whoever did this here.
You think someone did it?
Somebody did it?
Why, they don't just come out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'd like to get me hands on whoever dumped this load of Basculin in this lake, I tells ya. Ruining me livelihood.
That's fair.
Well, if we ever hear anything, we'll let you know, but...
Much
What was your name
appreciated.
again?
Hi, it's Wilbur.
Wilbur, I'm Jackson. This is Brooke, and acquaintance and friend Molly.
She waves. Hey. He says, "Hi, good to meet all of you. Strapping bunch of Pokemon trainers, the lot of you, huh?"
Yeah. How long have these guys been here? The fish?
Why, maybe no more than the month. Although they've been getting plentiful more here in the last little bit. Especially along this western coast of Make-A-Wish.
Interesting. Any suspicious people around that gave you the impression?
I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a great judge in character.
I died!
That's doing it on its own. I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm not dead anymore.
So not so much, hey?
Well, I mean, there's been lots around lately, but mostly just drawn by the ads. They
Fair
figure
enough.
good money in an easy fight, but you just learned it ain't the case.
No, it's really not.
If we had... I mean, our Pokemon were probably perfectly well equipped, and we were just ill-equipped mentally for it. We didn't know what we were getting into.
I mean, if I made my Pokemon swim, then maybe, but I felt bad making Axel swim.
Yeah, I didn't want Machu in the water. That would not have gone well. I mean, it didn't go well for Machu anyways.
But what? You didn't come with any water-type Pokemon then? How are you supposed to battle something that's underwater if you don't have nothing to fight it with?
Well, I have one now.
I have some Pokemon that can fly.
It's better than nothing, I suppose. As long as your target is on the surface.
Yeah.
No, I put 2 and 2 together and figured that electricity would probably be good against the things in the water. But would grass be good as well? Because I have Dandy, who's a hoppip, and he can fly.
Aye, sure. Grass is plenty effective.
Maybe I'll do that next time. I think Steve's camera's frozen again too.
Could be.
I'm
Everything's going wrong.
so hard trying to think of a name for this stupid fish.
Robin. Basculin Robbins.
You can name yours that.
Says, well, have you tried getting better prepared? You know, if not for the better Pokemon, better equipped? What you got there? Pokeballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, you tried any great balls? These are mighty hearty fish.
We don't have much
Would
money.
probably be better, but at the same time, if we're doing it for the money and the reward is 500 Pokebucks per Basculin and the great balls cost 500 Pokebucks per Pokeball, it's not a way to make money.
I mean, the money is just the icing on the cake there, you know? It's about the thrill of the hunt.
It would be were we not flat broke.
Very broke. Like, really, really broke.
Oh,
I
not
don't think
anymore.
We could afford a great ball together.
I mean, when I send this guy to research. But they're not, like, taking the Pokemon away, right?
He shrugs. Gods if I know.
Okay. Guess I'll have to figure out.
Have you tried a netball?
Nope. Don't
Never heard
even
of that.
know if I have used one before.
I've
Aye.
heard of 3 Pokeballs now. It's a Pokeball, a Timer Ball, and a Great Ball. And that's, oh no, 4 now, I guess, with the Net Ball.
Aye, they're particularly good at catching these water types. And I've heard a fair few use them on the bugs too.
Oh. Didn't realize.
You know, maybe check in with old Murphy out at the fishing shack when you get a chance. He usually has a couple kicking around from the fishing tournaments. He might be willing to turn around for a little less than what they typically be.
Okay.
Might be something to look into.
Aye, show him the Basculin. He'll know you're serious fisherman then.
Sounds good. Thanks for the tip.
Aye, one fisher to another. And hats off to you. You done good.
We definitely tried.
He smiles and he says, I'll leave you to it. Good day to all of you, and you too, young lassie.
Thank you.
And he turns his boat around and he starts paddling back out. And that is where I think we should end.
Perfect.
Okay.
Fucking Basculin. I forgot how frail Machu was.
It's just
And
a
I was
baby.
reminded very quickly.
Just a
Suffice-
baby.
Suffice to say, when it evolves, at least 4 points are going into con.
That would be a
Depending on
very
how many
hardy
yes.
Pikachu.
I mean, it only has 20 HP right now. Its con is 8. She is a frail girl.
So, that brings us to the end of another exciting episode of Pokemon D&D Wundoro Adventure. Any suggestions for titles? This is our 25th episode.
This bitch be bad. I don't know.
This bitch be bad.
Fishing for friends.
Look at fishing for friends. Still trying to name this stupid fish.
Basculin Robbins.
No. You can name your
That
fish
was the
that.
title of the episode.
Oh.
Basculin Robbins.
I have so
I'm
many
far
boys
too
in my
proud
party.
of Origuano.
Origuano. Ah,
I
you
have
guys are
no idea what the
funny.
fuck to name this bat. What's a pun? Poo. Oregano. Or sure. Origuano.
All right. Well, I suppose everyone is tired, so we'll get this over with. Special thanks to Joe the DM on Twitter for the Pokemon 5e handbook and that we used today. You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Thank you to the Lighter Arts for the character tokens, which we didn't get to use today, but they are up on the screen there for you to see.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com for the music you're hearing right now and a bit more that we heard while we were playing. And thank you to Mikkel_Beats, again of Twitter, for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope. Trying to name my fish.
So Tuesday, Matt, you got more.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Hey, it's almost like
Which
it
has
wasn't
been a
truly
ton
The
of fun
Last of
so
Us.
far.
Yeah, you're enjoying it.
The Last of Us were the friends we made along the way.
Aww.
And yeah, I am actually really, really enjoying it. It
Good.
just took a turn at the end of the last stream that I wasn't expecting, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Ooh, that sounds like a cliffhanger if ever there was.
Yeah.
And
Things that I didn't
Andy,
expect to happen.
Andy has Diablo going on.
Yeah, some Diablo going on Thursdays.
Ooh. And then Friday, we're back here for more Pokemon something, maybe, perhaps?
Yeah. Yeah, unless I come down with the Rona.
Ah, that hard
In which
R.
case, yeah, probably not going over there.
In which case, we'll figure something out. All good.
Yep.
So, next Pokemon D&D will be on sometime in August, the 10th.
Yes.
The 10th. We hope to see you
Yes.
there for our 26th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I got. I'm very tired and sunburnt.
Yep.
I am very tired, but not sunburned.
Oh. It's a different flavor.
I'll
All
take
right.
my win where I can.
All right, Miss Producer. Talk us out.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the things. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry, I got distracted trying to name my stupid fish. His name is Feral. Anyway.
This extended outro was on your shoulders.